Good day. Good morning. It always sounds kind of weird when I'm wearing AirPods instead of my headset. It's because I hear myself talk and it's weird. Okay, let me just... How's the sound on that? Please tell me in advance this time. Good morning, guys. Like, Kaiser, you're always so on time. Holy crap. Like, I turn on my OBS and you're there. You're there immediately. Thank you. That's awesome, actually. Good morning. Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, buddy. Good morning, Flamer. Welcome, my bird watchers. My most important of people. Always, of course. Clearly. Clearly! Good morning, Skull. Good morning, guys. Good morning, Cookie. Good morning, Jack. Good morning, Jack. You're actually earlier today, are you? Just otherwise, just don't tell me. Just be like, yeah, I'm always lurking. You don't know, but I'm always lurking. I'm just like, you know. You think I'm not there? Please, I'm lurking. Don't worry about that. Good morning, Ice. Oh god, now I did something funny with my hair because I thought I was being hilarious, and now it'll get stuck behind the horn forever. Is it time for critically acclaimed RPG Final Fantasy XIV with a free trial including the first expansion, Heaven's Ward? Tyrion, I think it might be. I think it might be. Oh no. Are you playing? Because, I mean, if you're not... I'm sorry. It helps when you've been camping Twitch since 10 AM. Yeah, okay, yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. Also, I'm not moving my screen this time because, like, I feel like you can, like, yeah, you can kind of read the chat, but, like, what are you gonna say? Like, me saying hello to people? Oh, no. I think it'll be okay. Hi, Whistle. It's not evening. No, it isn't. How dare you? And good morning, Will.
This is a great opportunity for slaughter.
It is a great opportunity for slaughter, even in Final Fantasy XIV. Especially in Final Fantasy XIV. It is, welcome back! Thank you so much for the resub, for tier 3 as well! Dang, ballers. Welcome back. Hello, Will. Hello, how are you doing? Are you feeling okay today? Because I feel like sometimes I want to ask you that, but I feel kind of rude asking. How are you doing today? Like, all together. You're off work all week. Oh, dang, everyone's getting, like, 3 days. The critically acclaimed MMORPG, Final Fantasy XIV. Actually, Ark, I used to have more. But then, before I moved to Balmung, I was like, okay, well, Balmung is expensive, so I'll buy a Construct. I'll buy a Construct on Cerberus, because it's cheaper there. And that's not the only one I bought either. What else did I buy? I bought something else, I swear, I just don't know what. Like, okay, that one's not worth anything. It was a horse. Was it the Incitatus? Or Incitatus? I think it was the Incitatus. Like, I think they're both from, like, the Fox. And I don't do the Fox because I have no one to raid with. So I'm pretty sure it's that. Did I buy the Dalmal isn't actually worth anything. I definitely bought that one as well, though. I'm, like, 99% sure. Like, I just spent all my money on mounts, basically. Because I could. Because why not, right? Why not? You have hop swaps for every job? Of course. Of course. I also maxed everything. You have to. Never Flamer. I do have an Auda character. I have an Auda dude on a European server. It's my alt, so I'm on Diabolos. I'm sorry, but one day they're gonna merge everything, Juicy, and then it won't matter anymore. Money well spent? I know, right? And it's so much cheaper on Cerberus. Balmung is really expensive. Like, weirdly expensive. Hi, Kale! Good morning! I looked up how many quests I got left in the MSQ. It's just one dungeon and a few quests afterwards. Can I get the eye level for the dungeon today? I kind of wanted to, like, finish the main story quest just so I can start doing expert dungeons again. Like, I can't do any of my expert dungeons, my roulettes, which means I can't really grind gear. Last dungeon drops 505. Really? What am I using right now? Yo, it really does it? Why am I still wasting my... Okay, well, we're gonna just talk to Lise then. Because me with only one job after 5+ years, it doesn't matter as long as you're having fun. Right? Like your UI status? I just got the Shadowbringers. Well, I mean, you can copy my UI if you like. I do not mind. Whatsoever. I'm a super sweaty tryhard in classic TVC. Is Final Fantasy XIV friendly for a new player? Absolutely. Absolutely. And if you need help, you can just ask me. If you want to go places, just ask me and I'll go with you. I think I can probably give you my UI. I think I can probably copy that actually. Can I? I think I can. Curious to see what your
Thank you
playtime
for
is.
coming
A
so
lot.
soon.
Hold on. I can check, can't I? 2,545.5 hours. I mean, this is pretty late in the main story quest. Darian, if you are only just playing, if you've just started Final Fantasy XIV, then this is going to be spoilers for you, because this is, ooh. I am behind, but still, not that far. Not that far behind. That cosplay change? What? This one? Or you can also get 520 gear pretty easily. Yeah, I've just been so behind on just grinding anything. I'm on PlayStation 4. Oh, fair enough. Okay. Well, then I guess you can't use my UI. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. No, Darian, you're ahead of me.
Aldin at once, and we can decide what to do about these infernal towers.
I've been crafting for like everyone who came online as well. Kolsta knows. Kolsta's not here actually. I've been crafting for Cora as well. I don't mind. Like I like helping people. So if you need stuff, I'm here. I got you. I will even farm your gear for you.
Rogue preserved.
That's a big one.
It can't be.
Who? Okay, well, I'm confused. Don't know about y'all.
The palace! After them!
I'm guessing that's a bad thing. Just did this the other day. Oh, dang. How many hours, Darian, from here to the end? Just hit level 4 so far. I'm quite impressed. Combat feels decent enough despite being tab targeting. And it gets more interesting the more skills you get as well, Kaisa. Like, in between skills. Although I can't recommend Red Mage for that. Why are we fighting? Wait, is that the jerk? Is that, oh, is his name Asahi? Was that his name? The brother of...
Well, to be received by such an illustrious cult.
He looks just like him, can I just say?
Even the hero of the piece is here.
Do we hate him? I think we hate him.
Is that Asahi?
I'm not crazy! It is Asahi! Ah! Never mind. This is not, well, listen. I hate this boy so much. Like, my reaction to when I saw him, like, he looks just like him.
His body more like.
He took his body. He took his body. Of course he took his body.
Oh, you saw straight through it. Anyone would think you dealt with Asians before.
Why would you say that? Could never.
Permit me to introduce myself. I am Fandaniel, and may I say what a pleasure it is to finally make your acquaintance.
You know what? I don't believe him. Hi, Lander. Hello, hello. Aesthetically pleasing and equally friendly streamer. Thank you, Lander. Good morning to you. We're gonna call him Grim Fandango. What do you want? Like, we hate him. He was so annoying. So annoying when we first met him. And then every time afterwards when we met him again. I'm just saying.
My, straight to business is it? Suit yourself.
Oh my god. Yeah, we should be burning bodies. You're right. You're right, though.
It is my intention to recreate the final days. To which end I have distributed a collection of rather ingenious devices, or towers, which will, in time, give rise to the grandest of spectacles.
Okay, but that's illegal, so we can't let him do that. Listen, the Carbuncle is my companion. He's alive, okay? He's not moving, but he's definitely alive. So.
The final days? But it was the Asians who labored to prevent them.
You're quite right. Though I would expect no less from one responsible for eliminating my unsundered colleagues.
So is he the black sheep of the Asians? Like, is he even for Asians? He's just lost. Even the Asians hate him.
The three of them were obsessed with restoring the one true world. As a sovereign individual, however, I never had much.
Did he just
interest
wink at
in
me?
Such things. I mean, why bother when you're just another sundered minion?
Okay. Cosplays a summoner that murders and taxidermies their summons. No! They're alive! In my RP, that's alive. How dare you?
Admittedly, Elidibus was not convinced by that argument. But thanks to you, I'm finally free of his incessant nagging.
He was also sad. I also felt kind of sad for Elizabeth, to be honest, so, you know.
Free to use my powers as I see fit, to fulfill my heart's desire.
It's another, like, when it's like the aliens of the Final Fantasy XIV universe, it's like, Asians. But I think somebody said, like, okay, I've not watched any of the Endwalker stuff yet because I don't want to get spoiled for, like, the current stuff. But I think they said they wanted to end the Asian story arc with this. Like, and Endwalker's gonna be something, like, completely new. Is Fandaniel posh? Incredibly so.
And my heart's desire is to lay this half-broken world to waste, leaving nary a fleck of dust behind!
Oh, you're so fun! Can we kill him?
What? Why would you want such a thing?
He's an Asian. He's kind of
Because
a weirdo.
I want wretched creatures who ask such meaningless questions to
See?
die!
See? He's a weirdo!
You!
Yes.
And you!
Huh?
And you!
Oh my god!
I want you all to die!
He is absolutely
And
off his
I
rocker.
want to die too! Oh, yes! I want to die and take everyone with me in a paroxysm of pain and suffering!
Yo, are you okay? I thought Asahi was unhinged, but he was
I'm
like,
different,
oh.
you see,
Yeah, I
from
could
the
tell.
ancients who clung to dear life, and from you.
Yeah, we'll call it difference. We'll just call it difference. It's just okay.
So don't bother trying to reason with me. You will find I have no reason, or creed, or any such tripe.
Your death can be arranged, exactly. Again. Fandaniel was not okay.
I just want to destroy the world. But
Oh, is
please
that
do
all?
resist with all your might. It will add to my enjoyment.
Buddy, I will. Watch me.
Now then, ladies and gentlemen, keep your eyes peeled, for the curtains have risen on the spectacle to end all spectacles.
So here's the funny thing though, like, cause like, you can tell that two of you have not ever played Final Fantasy XIV. Pretty much every other villain before this guy has been like, emotionally driven. They've had like some sort of goal in mind that they perceived as a good thing, you know, where they were like, yeah, I mean, people may die, but that's a sacrifice I am willing to make, you know, like they didn't just want to kill for the sake of killing. They were like, okay, you're gonna die, but my people are gonna come back, so it's totally fine. Where like this is basically the first villain in Final Fantasy XIV that is just screw y'all, I'm bad, I'm happy being bad, I'm just evil. Like that's his whole deal. Like, since when? Like, I feel like maybe there has to be a reason behind this, because this is very out of the blue.
We, the Telophoroi, shall be your performers, and this very star our stage.
Okay, buddy. Very chaotic evil. Elizabeth was just sad, the poor man. To be fair, they all kind of were, like all the Asians so far have just been really sad. Evil for evil's sake. I don't mind it, like it's very fresh. I love that. But this is a summon I've not- is that supposed to be Bahamut or something? Like, I don't think I've seen them. Final Fantasy XIV team watched Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, we're like, we need that! Yes. And Kaisa, slowly but surely. Slowly but surely. Hey, I've liked- I'm sorry.
I nearly forgot. I have a message for you. My esteemed
Oh
patron,
god,
Lord
forgot
Xenos,
Xenos.
eagerly awaits you at the heart of the
I
cave.
forgot Xeno's existence! I forgot he existed, I'm sorry. Sorry Xenos? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I know that not everybody likes World of Warcraft story, but there's a lot of the story in Warcraft that I actually still like. I'm sorry, I do. Like a Dark Bahamut, yeah, exactly. Xenos cares about the fight itself, exactly. Like, Xenos wants a worthy foe. That's his goal. He's not just like, I'm gonna destroy everything for the sake of it. Like, he'll get bored of that. He just wants a foe, worthy of reckoning with.
While I wish only to destroy the world, he exists solely to relive a certain transcendent moment with you.
We're
And
boyfriends.
it is for that reason he would reduce all to ash.
Because we're boyfriends. Xenos has the biggest crush on my Warrior of Light. On every Warrior of Light, but like specifically mine. Which is why we're boyfriends.
Pray see to it his dreams do not go unfulfilled. For if you should disappoint him,
Then what?
my trusty companion here,
It is Bahamut.
Lunar Bahamut,
Lunar
will
Bahamut,
burn
okay.
your cities and everyone in them.
Why Lunar Bahamut? Come on, Dark Bahamut. Come on, go all the way. Go all the way. Chaos Bahamut? I don't know. I'll take both. Guys wanted to wipe out the beast tribes to eliminate the icons. Iceheart wanted to end the Ishgard conflict in our own misguided way. The Pope was the Pope. Yeah, he wanted to just keep secrecy, I
My
guess.
men will tend to the blaze.
Okay, it's purple. Don't know if you're gonna be okay with that, but alright. Xenos has been busy sitting in his chair, yeah. And being like, he was like being reborn for a bunch of it, going like, haha, sinister appearance. Like, that was his whole deal. Like, every so often there'd just be like a scene after the main story quest that you were currently doing of Xenos just staring at things and going, haha. Like, oh well. Tentacle Bahamut. Yeah, I don't mean anything except for Lunar. Why Lunar? Does Final Fantasy XIV also suffer from the constant upscaling of the stakes? Well, not really. It's just always something else. Like you'll defeat somebody and then someone else just shows up. Of similar strength, but just with a different tactic to defeat them. You know? Xenos is Thanos' this expansion? A little bit, yeah. Thank goodness everyone's safe. We managed to put out the fire, though not quickly enough to save the garden. Oh no, actually I really like the garden. So yeah, oh no. Roban, can I leave you to send word to the Alliance? I'm going to take a unit and investigate the tower. I need to find out what it's for. Towering, obviously. We'll go with you. Oh, no you won't. You'll rest. From what Marilyn Whip tells me, you're due some time of duty. Should we learn anything about the tower, we'll be sure to share it with you. Until then, I want you to rest, but not me. Very well, but if you need our help, don't hesitate. And take care, both of you. Can I still go? I want to check the tower. Okay, I'm not allowed to. I see. Never seen the minimap in the middle. I like it better that way because I don't really use it much. So if I really do need it, like, I will actively look for it. So I'm gonna talk to somebody else then. Oh, we're gonna go back to the Rising Stones. I guess this was like the end of a patch? Question mark? Shout out to the Makoti behind Roban named Dirty Dancer. There are some interesting names. Especially on Balmung. There are some interesting names. What were you for again? What were you for? Hold on, let me just real check. What did you do? Oh! Oh, I should always have that quest active actually. I'm in the process of literally collecting every single relic in the history of the world. I have a lot of them. It'll be fun. Pray return to the waking sand, kind of. Except this one has a teleport. The Warriors of Darkness didn't want what happened to their world to happen to ours. Yeah, like again, like all of them have a good well, okay, maybe not a good reason, but they have a reason. Right? Like the Ascian story is so sad. No, he did, okay, it wasn't a meaningful purpose, but he did have a purpose. That's the point, Tyrion. Like, none of them are just like, I'm gonna destroy the world, and then someone's like, why? And they yell back, I don't know! Like, you know? Oh shoot, I just clicked that for no reason. Since we're all here, perhaps those who bore witness to the events in Alamigo could treat the rest of us to a first-hand account. Ah, yes. Story time. Yet again. Don't be upset about it, please. No sooner do we overcome one problem than another appears. It would all seem tediously predictable, but for the endless variety of our foes. This Fandaniel sounds even more unhinged than his patron. See? Like, that's what she says, basically. It's like, oh, well, we fixed that problem. Here's a new one. That's basically it. Want to bring the end of days? Yeah, why would you let me die? Unhinged, perhaps, but no fool. For all his pantomime theatrics, he gave away little about his plot. His plot is to just destroy things and kill everyone. I mean, okay. We know only that he intends to recreate the final days, and that the towers will somehow facilitate this, which is why we should go to the towers, and they shouldn't have stopped us from doing that. Okay. Because F you, that's why. Can it please be time for the custom deliveries reset so I can get scripts? That's not until tomorrow. tomorrow's reset, I'm sorry. What do you need, Bellico? Because, like, I have scripts left over most times. Valtteri was just like, that. They were like scared. They were all scared. He was scared to lose his power, and he genuinely thought, like, his way was the best way to end their lives with dignity. Like, again, it's not a good thing. I'm not saying they're good people, they're definitely not. He also called his dragon Lunar Bahamut. Let's not forget that little detail. Little detail. And the creature certainly did resemble the Elder Primal. Yeah, but we know where his head is. That may be, but the fact that it answered to Fandaniel would suggest they are not one and the same entity. I think it more probable that is some manner of simulacrum born of Asian magic. You know, like summoner. Like, I'm a summoner. I can give you a Bahamut. I gotta wonder if these worms dragons get sick of being named Bahamut, right? They're all very Bahamuts, because they're scarier that way. If they're Bob, then everyone's like, okay. Help Kitty cross street, level 100. Kill God and Terrorhole. Always kill God at the end of every JRPG. Hi, Jacob. Good morning. What's up? Nothing urgent, just want to get some crafter items? That's fair enough. Although I can help if it's like actual ingredients. I always have lefts. In fact, I have a bunch in my inventory. I shan't open my inventory right now. I can't let you. Whatever it is, for now we can but work closely with the Alliance and remain vigilant. I believe that concludes our news. What of yours, Y'shtola? I've been to see the Sultana. Knowing how quick the immortal flames are to dispose of their tempered, I judged it best to provide them with the cure first. They're just very keen to execute, apparently. Why? As soon as I had sufficiently recovered, I travelled to Ul'dah and delivered the pork cheese to Her Grace, along with detailed instructions on their use. Okay. Yet my visit chanced to coincide with the arrival of some troubling tidings. The Immortal Flames has been on the cusp of agreeing to a truce with the Amalja when negotiations abruptly collapsed. Are we gonna go to every beast tribe to try and make amends? Because I'm feeling that after this one, we're gonna go back to Gridania. I know, Tasman. That's her battle porkshi. Xenosaga definitely took that bend reality and Kilgot thing seriously, though. No, but seriously, all of them, though. I hear a sneezing cat. Sneezing cat? Okay, sneezing cat left. The Amalja claim that a number of their kind have been abducted, and that men are responsible. They usually are, so... Naught is known of the perpetrators as yet, but as the Immortal Flames went about investigating the abductions, they came upon one of Fandaniel's towers. Which is definitely where we're going to find them. On the subject of the towers, you may be interested to learn they are not an exclusively Eorzean phenomenon. According to the Alliance, they've been sighted as far afield as Yangsha. Oh. RIP, I guess? Then maybe we're going to find, like, our friends. Like, you know who I haven't seen in a while? I actually even forgot his name. But the guy from like, that entire Stormblood expansion. I totally forgot his name. RIP. Hi, Untier. Grace you mortals with a quick 30 minutes acte de présence. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's tell me the level and stuff, or I can just give you a website to make custom macros. Well, not for me, I hope, because I'm like totally fine. I'm max out everything. You never know. Then it would seem reasonable to assume that they are everywhere. We simply have not found them. They're pretty big. How do you miss them? Well, Hien. That one, Tasman. I forget his name. I'm the worst. I actually quite like him too. Well, as you said yourself, we can do little for now save remain vigilant. And since we're dealing with a dragon, ostensibly at least, I believe it would behoove us to enlist the aid of an authority on such foes. Who is? Estinian! Oh god, my boy! No, not Pithane. Wow. You know what, Pithane? He can give me his silver floats. If that's what he wants to do, then yes. Estinian? I like how that's like in italics, like Estinian. Now just a moment. If he could be persuaded to lend us his lance, I would be the first to welcome it, but the truth is, we will struggle even to find him. He is elusive. You let me and Kryle worry about that. We'll sniff him out no matter where he's hiding. Yes, Arwen, no matter where he's hiding. If indeed he is hiding, We have ways of locating him regardless. Isn't that right, Arwen? Right? Yeah. So if there are no objections, we shall depart at once. Objection! Don't turn off my microphone, okay? Worth it, Tasman. Worth it. Arwen, do you want a candy? Do you want a candy? Of course you want a candy. Yes, you do. Nom nom. Nom 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 nom. Oh, is that tasty? She just literally threw it out of her mouth again. You are not good at eating, sir. Miss lady. Oh, but here, I'll put it down for you. She's having teeth troubles. Hey. Are you okay, buddy? Yeah. Oh god, is she gonna throw up again? I'm getting the feeling that she's gonna throw up. Oh, kitten! It's okay. Was the one candy too many? I won't blame you, Jeff. She just has teeth issues. That's why we have the tiny candies now instead of the big ones. Well, rather than sitting around, I think I might go to each of the city-states and educate them in the use of the porches before they execute people. They would doubtless appreciate it, but might you consider taking a moment to rest before leaving? You would be fresher for the tasks ahead. What if I don't like being fresh? Consider that. You never know. Well, my friend, our moment of triumph did not last long. It's okay, you're also my boyfriend. 'Twas ever the way. Oh dear, you're not enjoying our adventure? Because this is all I do, boy. Come now, I didn't say that. While it may not be the most carefree experience, there's nothing in this world I would rather do than write a new future with you. We are also boyfriends. A long future, mind. Whatever the telephoroi might hope. We'll stop the moment together. Of course we will, my husband. God, we are absolutely dating, I'm sorry. No, it's a tattoo. I've had that tattoo for... coming up to 2 years, I think? You know what, I actually don't remember. Coming up to 2 years. But it was... I forget. But like, several hours. 6 or 8 hours? Because I did everything in one go. Meanwhile, somewhere in the locks. That's a little bit ominous. But yeah, it goes, like... Colstab will yell at me again for doing things, but it goes like all the way and a bit over there as well. So, I'm ruining my shirt. I'm sorry, shirt. Final polygamy.
Back by now.
That's us.
I'm gonna go and find them.
Don't do that. Oh, there's a scout. See, you didn't have to go far. It's fine.
Oh, thank goodness for that.
Really? That looks like a good thing? He is dying, you can tell. Does he look like he's okay? Oh god. Are they all taken as well? Is Bahamut doing that? He's like a proper icon.
Glory be to Garibald!
He's fun. Meanwhile, in the Imperial Palace, like we're just gonna ignore that happens. Moving on. Xenos is still bored. Look at this man. This man is always bored. Oh, I got another sword. Meanwhile, at Kaiba Corp. Oh, the Walalo. It's our good friend, little crazy boy.
The piles have been driven as planned, and the first of the beasts has roared to life. Moreover, I am pleased to report that preparations are well underway for the rest. Ere long, chaos shall reign over all the land, as befits the final days.
Call it what you will, so long as my friend returns to me, fangs bared and claws sharpened. I care not.
He misses his husband, I get it.
Of course, my lord. By strange coincidence, your dear friend chanced to be present when I made my declaration.
And now
I
Xenos
took
is
the
sad he didn't
liberty of
come.
informing him that you await his coming, though I confess I may have singed him a little in the process.
I'm unsingable, boy.
And
He
why
doesn't know
do
me.
you tell me this? Are you in such a hurry to die?
He's still bored.
Ah, my apologies. I must guard my tongue lest it be the end of me.
I don't think... Yeah, honestly, I don't think Xenos could kill this guy. On his own? I don't think so. Like, Asians are kind of difficult to kill.
Though, there is something to be said for such a glorious death. Better to fall to one who has it all than falter before an inferior. Huh. I shall keep it in mind as a contingency. For now, however, I shall proceed with the plan. My lord.
Bye! How do you even... Yeah, just TP out, exactly. Get a new body, again.
I must find myself a new weapon. One worthy of our long-awaited
Is that why you
reunion.
were staring at your sword? Like, ah, this one just sucks now. I'm gonna find a gun. Oh my god, you stepped on it! He used to like that sword. A weapon to surpass Metal Gear. Aww. He'll be swinging at us with Bahamut as a melee weapon. Oh, it's gonna go all Dark Souls. He's gonna cut off his tail and it'll be a club now. That's how it works. Alizé is waiting patiently for the return of a certain scion, not least of all you.
Vernon Roach, Special Forces Commander for the last 4 years, servant of the Temerian King, responsible for the pacification of the Mahakaman foothills, hunter of elves, murderer of women and children, twice decorated for valor on the field of battle.
Yorveth, a regular son of a whore.
Will I get tired of miming that? Absolutely not. No, but thank you for asking. Like, I mean, I appreciate the concern. Wall Guy the Robin, ruthless moderator, merciless wielder of terrible puns, ferocious supporter of Jinzi, relentlessly devoted friend to all flock members, unceasingly furious opponent of pineapple pizza. Jinzi, a regular son of a horde. Thank you all. Welcome back. Happy anniversary. Happiest of anniversaries. Of course. I'm so glad you found my flock. Like, for real. The boon to the flock. The biggest boon to the flock. Has ever been you. And will we get a Yorveth and Roach anime? Chris! Chris! Takes 3 weapons classes and finds a nuke, which he will only use to punch you with. Listen, Fussel. I can't believe you would put heresy in my chat. You're a moderator. You should know better. You should know better. Good news, Shota! The slime's flowing again. That's a World of Warcraft reference. Yes, you're welcome. Thancred and Urianger have finished their tour of Garlemald and are on their way back here, even as we speak. Have they though? No, Fussel! Or you will indeed die on that hill. Yorveth and Roach Brokeback Mountain? That's actually the Mahakama foothills that he's talking about. As we still haven't heard anything on the towers from the Alliance, I'm hoping they might be able to shed some light on things. They're due to arrive any moment now, so let's see what they have to say, eh? Are you Canadian now? Think I might bite the bullet and download this game? Do it! I'm on Balmung. Most of us are, at this point. But it's difficult to get onto Balmung, so, like, try to make a character on a really weird hour. Basically. Ah, a welcoming party. You needn't have gone to the trouble. From what I hear, you've been more than busy enough as it is. I'm always busy, have you seen me? I'm gonna write it for you. Balmung. Honestly, you might have waited for me to return before discovering a cure for tempering. As it is, I can't even pretend to have been involved. Oh no! Where's your husband, Tancred? Where's Urianger? Engage in the free trial of Final Fantasy XIV, which includes award-winning expansion Heaven's Ward, in which you can play up to level 60. I think that I pinned down the hour. I think 9 my time is like a decently weird hour. You know. Well, if it's any consolation, I myself was little more than a spectator. The lion's share of the credit must go to Alize, Graha, and Shota. Honestly, mostly Alize. But I believe I speak for the rest of us when I say we are proud to have rendered what little assistance we could. Awesome bean. I'm EST2? Good. Then 9-ish. Kind of. And I maybe onto. I'm actually. There is a cat hair in my mouth. Somewhere. Cat hair, no. Well, I think it's actually stuck under my scales. No joke. It's now stuck on. There's a cat hair stuck under my outer scales. I cannot like. Infuriating. Okay, I got it. This is why you shouldn't have scales, kids. Hello there, Chilesi. Good morning. My Cody Aura hybrid. To be fair, I also have ears. Cat-like ears. If I wore both at the same time, would I just be in my Kaura? You should totally be shedding all over my face. As you will also have heard, though, it hasn't all been tales of triumph. Just as we were taking a step towards finally addressing the primal threat, a pile of fresh problems landed in our lap. Anyway, it's good to have you back. I can't help noticing that we're one Urianger short of a scouting party. You haven't lost him, have you? Where is your husband, Thancred? I know, Scal, I know. I couldn't lose him if I tried. We did exchange wedding vows after all. We have kids. And I did try, repeatedly. But no, he decided to linger in Alamigo to apprise Rauban and the others of how the land lies in Garlemald. And then mayhap you would do the same for us. Yes, indeed. It was just the least said. Worse, in fact. Devastation as far as the eye could see. Nerva and the third, however, were notable by their absence. Who's Nerva again? I actually forgot. Might they have met their end at the hands of Xenos and Fandaniel? Would there have been murder involved? Perhaps they simply lost the will to fight. A Carlian losing the will to fight? That'd be ridiculous. You see, the capital has been plunged into a deathly silence, with one exception, the Imperial Palace. It was a busy place before the war, but it has grown busier still, with throngs of soldiers and civilians working there day and night to rebuild, or rather transform it. Transform it into what? Well, that is a difficult question to answer. The construction is vast and unsettling to behold, like something from a nightmare. According to Urianger, certain aspects of its design were clearly devised with the manipulation of ether in mind. Magitech, in other words. Yet, as unnerving as said edifice was, it was nothing next to the sight of its builders. They swarmed the place like so many insects, working with nary a word exchanged between them. No one overseeing construction, no one barking orders. It was as if they were possessed or tempered. That's what I said. Well, I didn't say tempered, but that's what I meant, though. Hi, Etta. Good morning. I started playing Final Fantasy XIV again this weekend. Yes. Welcome to the tribe. We're all like, this is like SWOTOR all over again. I'm playing Final Fantasy XIV and slowly converting every single person watching into also playing Final Fantasy. We wanted to investigate more closely, but given our suspicions, it seemed wiser not to take the risk. Are you sure? Can we even I don't think... Wasn't it a whole thing that we couldn't be tempered? Like, maybe I'm remembering this wrong. If Fandaniel could bind Bahamut to his will, might he have done the same to the people of Garlemald? Whatever the truth may be, this information is certain to prove valuable. You have our thanks. And our gratitude. Sorry. I've been converted. You're welcome, Rest. Hi, Lutza. Good morning. You'll never take me alive into an MMO. Well, okay, I'll drag your corpse there. See if I care. I'll just reanimate. Final has sexy cat people. It's true. And the best husbands. Hard to say no to such a captivating steamer. You were already playing, right? Come on. Hi, Rose. Good morning. How are you doing? I'm doing well, thank you. No one can temper you. Well, not me specifically. I just mean everyone else. Hey, are you feeling better now? Are you feeling better now? Okay, well, we'll try again. We'll try the other candy. You want the other candy? You want this one instead? Here, it's a small one, okay? Do you want this one? She's not feeling well, so I can't promise anything. I'm not moving it. You don't want it, you don't want it. I don't think she wants candy today, guys. It's okay. Eh? Yeah, you're not feeling good? We'll remember it for next time. Okay? Yeah. Everybody give pets to Arwen. We'll just make the can't candy alert pet Arwen alert. Eh? Yeah, buddy. Hello, buddy. Is he playing Final Fantasy XIV? Shroud and someone playing SWTOR? Cats and dogs living together? If we had a dog, oh, I would. I would. Yes. My potato has quite a mean mullet and mutton chop combo. Nick's a potato as well. We're gonna get art done. It's gonna be great, trust me. Jinsey has managed to convert me to 2 JRPGs at this point. Persona 5 and this MMO. Being someone who dislikes JRPGs worries me. You're welcome. You're very welcome. We're gonna play Strikers on stream at some point too, eh? Pets for Arwen, exactly. Hey, Arwen. Yeah. You get some petties. Yeah, you get some petties. Yeah. She's looking at me like, if you stop, I will kill you. Well, I'll be sure to save some for Urianger. Which reminds me, I have a message from Alamigo. Also, I have to read off my OBS there because Harlan was in front. Hey? You gonna jump over? You gonna jump over? Here, let me move the chair. Yeah. Roban is hosting a meeting to discuss the latest findings on the towers, and he requested our presence. I have to do it again. Oh god, Arwen! Don't sit on the mute button, please. Oh, now there's suddenly a chat screen in there. Then why not leave that to us? You must be wary from your mission. I can't use my mouse when you're sitting there. Yeah. Okay? Yeah. You wanna have a jump? You wanna go into the window? Is that what you want? I'm sorry, I must be cat mother for a moment. My daughter is not feeling well. Yeah. Oh, it's trees, isn't it? Isn't that trees? Yes, it is trees. Sniff, sniff. Does it smell like trees? You want to jump up here instead? Arwen doesn't really know what she wants either. Yet, Danny, yet. Yeah. Buddy. You want to go here anyway? There she goes. She does want to go there. Let her throw up on the neighbors. She doesn't go outside, so that's going to be hard. It's time to take my leave. See you, Aunt here. Have a good ramen noodles. Enjoy. It was ramen day, or like, was it ramen day? It was a day for, I think it was ramen. Not too long ago. Oh, it's huge at us, but it's so worth it. It's so worth it. I can read my text again, that's good. No, I'm fine. Those towers have been on my mind since I first spied one in the way back. And I'm keen to get to the bottom of this. Of the tower? Because that means we're probably dead. In that case, I shall stay and begin looking into another matter. As I promised Kryle, we need not all attend. She can't be bothered. Very well. I suggest the rest of us make our way to Alamigo forthwith. The sooner we leave, the more time we will have to speak with Urianger before the meeting. Yeah. Every day is a ramen day. We're actually eating sandwiches this entire week. It's a budget thing, but also both Nick and me are just like, cooking kind of sucks. We don't walk, we only teleport. Cooking kind of sucks, Fussel! Cooking kind of sucks! You're welcome to come and cook for us. You know, my door is always open. Cooking sucks when it's hot outside, especially so. I baked out of your book, Whistle. Now you know how much that meant. My friends, much and more have I heard of your travels in our absence. Heartened am I to see you hale and whole, especially my husband. As are we to see you safely return from your mission, Urianger. I trust Thancred made you feel welcome. Oh boy, did he! Sorry. Anyway. With you on the cooking train there. Pretty sure 50% of Uber Eats revenue comes from me and my fiance. What are we having today? Well, let me check! It's okay, Grillian. He always is. He's German. Fuck you, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'm sorry, Thistle. I didn't mean to disappoint you, but I have been a bit disappointment to most people in my life. I just didn't want you to feel excluded. Well, well. If it isn't Alphino and his merry band. Oh, hello, buddy. See, we're bonding over that, Whistle. Ironveld, whatever are you doing here? When we spoke via Link Pearl, you told me you'd be away on a mission. Well, I miss you. And who's to say this isn't part of it? But enough about that. It's good to see you looking so similar. I thought you'd have grown a bit taller after a whole year in another world, but apparently not. Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you. While my soul may be a year older, my body has hardly aged, as you are well aware. And may I remind you that we Elezen are known to be late bloomers, especially in terms of height. As my tall Elezen boy stands in the background. Mark my words, the day will come when even a great Auroch such as yourself will crane your neck to meet my eye. Oh god, he really hit a sore spot there, didn't he? Oh, this poor small lad. Oh, I think they're still arguing. Urianger and Thancred raising Thancred's ex-girlfriend turned into a child. I feel like they're also partially raising the other girl whose name I now forgot. I'm so sorry. The dark-haired girl? And they're girlfriends, by the way. So. Back to planning my kitchen in which I cook with joy! Okay, fine. Gaia, that's her name. I haven't continued their questline either, because I wanted to do that on stream too. I've basically been saving all of my, like, story-related questlines for y'all. I haven't done the near one yet either, and I can't do that right now anyway, because Mo isn't here, and Mo wants to see that. So. I'm cooking for the cat house. Yeah, exactly. It's the most important part. I like cooking, but the thought of the preparation and cleanup makes me not want to move my lazy ass. I know! I know! I get you. I'm sorry, Thistle. This block in uni right now will be a huge waste of time. Every day, like 1 hour in presence, but always in 30 minutes intervals and 4 hours apart. That's a bit weird, yeah. Things that could have been done in an email, right? No, I'm not doing near stuff. I can only do near stuff if Mo is here. Because I've been particularly saving it for her. She requested it. I like cooking and I'm actually good at it. That's true, yeah, you're good at it. I think that's probably one of the major points. Aye, it was not until my 20th summer that I myself outgrew my boyish proportions, but Moonbreda towered over me nonetheless. Well, that's different. Ironveld brings out the best in Alphino, doesn't he? They both seem so at ease in each other's company. It's almost endearing. Yes, the yelling. So what exactly brings you here? Oh, I could use an umbrella right about now. Not for Dola, mostly. I forgot she existed as well. We need to go over a few things before we set out. Set out? Wait, does this have something to do with the towers? What gave you that impression? Actually, tell me later. You've got a meeting to go to. I'll see you afterwards, alright? Yeah, bye. No, Rose. Oops. He doesn't even know. He's already gone. It's fine. If Fordola is going with him, that must mean they're dating. Am I shipping everybody who has like 2 seconds of interaction in this game? Absolutely! My apologies. As Arenfeld rightly pointed out, we have a meeting to attend. Let us be about it. Yes. Oh, Fuzzle! Me throughout the MSQ. I don't even know who you are. Yeah, but Flamer, do you skip cutscenes? Are you a cutscene skipper? I'm sensing a pattern here. Do you remember any Stormblood character? Stormblood's probably one of my least favorites.
I would like to offer my gratitude to Masters Thancred and Urianger.
You're welcome.
Tis no small feat to infiltrate the Imperial capital and live to tell the tale, much less in times of civil war. Thanks to them, we may plot our course in full knowledge of how the winds blow in Garlemald.
And how do they? Oh, yeah. Yes, I do, Grillian. Yes, I do, and everyone's invited.
Full glad
Wow,
are we to
flavor.
have been of service. But verily, such dangers as we did encounter pale into insignificance next to those faced by our comrades. An Ascian, armed with the might of Bahamut, bent on bringing about the final days.
Just kill Bahamut again, guys. No big deal.
Theatrics. He sought only to make a show of the power at the Teleforoi's disposal. But since then we have seen no sign of this Fandaniel or his worm. And while we've done what we can to bolster our defenses, there's no telling where he might strike next.
I love how there's like, most of these people kind of disappear in their chairs, except for the Elizan and Rauban.
Whenever and wherever it may be, we must use the intervening time to learn more of our enemy.
And have tea.
'Twas with this in mind that we dispatched scouts to investigate the towers.
And have tea.
Our advance party took longer than expected to return. And when they did, they tried to kill us.
Did you kill them back?
Luckily, I'd seen that sort of thing before, and we were able to restrain them before they did any harm. Then it was just a matter of letting the Porksies do their work.
So they were tempered.
Are you saying they were tempered?
She's saying they were tempered.
Once they'd come back to their senses, they told us everything they could. It seems that just as they were getting close to the tower, they heard an ear-splitting roar. And that was the last thing they remembered.
That's a tempering roar.
But what worries me most is what they were saying right before they attacked.
Glory to Garlemald?
Glory be to Garlemald.
Yeah. Well, maybe they're just big fans. You don't know. Everyone's like, oh no, but Garlemald sucks. Wait up.
The Tempered have heretofore ever been thralls to primal entities. Yet these hapless souls were compelled to accept a nation as the object of their devotion. This calleth into question all that we know of the condition.
Wow, Flamer, why do you always pick the worst sides?
Would that the unsettling news ended there. Alas, there is more.
There's
Following
always
the
more.
earlier reports of missing Amalja, we have learnt that other beast tribes have suffered similar losses.
People die? Hi, Silver.
And we now have reason to believe that the abductions are connected to the appearance of the towers.
On first sight, Tasman. At first
Our
sight.
scouts sighted black-garbed figures leading shackled Ixal in the direction of the tower in Dravania.
Ooh. Are they sacrificing them? That'd be awkward.
The Temple Knights were able to intercept them before they could reach their destination, liberating the Ixal and apprehending their captors, each of whom was found to be equipped with Garlean arms and armor.
And we all know that the Garleans suck, so that's a problem. Good night, Geisa. Sleep well.
So the Empire is the common thread.
It always is.
With the support of Xenos, it seems likely that Fandaniel has rallied a faction of the splintered Garlean army to the banner of the Teleforoy.
Which is still a very strange name. I'm sorry. It does not roll off the tongue well. Wow, Flamer. That's me.
Lord
So-
Hien reached the same conclusion when I shared our findings with Doma.
Oh, there's
the
Hien
plan
somewhere.
had been to march on Garlemald from the east and west in order to force a peace treaty. But the situation has changed. Dealing with the threat of the towers must come first.
Man, Doma's never getting peace. Even after I made that enclave look all nice. No.
Given
And
the
then we're
nature
quiet.
of the enemy and the proven risk of tempering, I could think of few suitable candidates to aid in this task.
Me!
But I am confident in my choice.
Me! Literally just me. And we're all just like, oh god, he's gonna say us, isn't he? Don't tell me them. That'd be weird.
What?
What? Exactly. What did they do with the boots?
Resistant to primal influence as they are, They can investigate the towers without fear of being turned.
I forgot why they are, but yes. Oh god, this is why you do it overnight.
To use, Commander.
I don't know, Fredola kind of looks like she's not that glad.
Gifted or not,
The
going behind
gift.
enemy lines remains a perilous undertaking. But we must know more if we're to strike back at our foe. I'm counting on you.
Like, doesn't the first have like a bunch of people who are technically also gifted now?
If it would give us the upper hand, I'd do it 100 times over. We won't let you down.
Yeah, Fredona's always mad. I get it though. I'd be always
That
mad too.
concludes the briefing. You two, make ready and join your escort.
I hate how my face is just blocking the most beautiful man at this table. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Are you certain about this, Arenvold?
No, he's not. Smiley
I am.
face.
Come on, let's talk outside.
Why don't you just bring me? I'm so good at this. Plus, I can't die. Given that I'm, you know, me. I'm sorry at us. You can only see him from behind. I can't help it. Maybe we'll see Estinian soon. I don't know. Oh, just them. I'm not invited. Oh, I see how it is. I see how it is. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not mad. Oh, I got invited anyway. Okay, I'm not mad anymore. Now that it's out in the open, I don't have to keep it under my proverbial hat anymore. I am Lander. I'm trying my best. I know, Flame.
I've already gone through all the formalities at the Rising Stones. Made sure to inform Jamoldvar and Vmar at Ralga's Reach as well.
Jamoldvar and Vmar! Dear Lord! They're really just, they're testing me, I swear. They must be cat people, right? Because of that name.
I admire your enthusiasm, but this is far more dangerous than anything you have done before.
So apparently my lenses are out for delivery at 10? Were they? Because, like, I see nothing. Okay, well, look. I am now definitely going to be a little bit upset if my lenses get stolen from in front of my door. Not gonna lie. Well, I did marry him, Ernest.
I know the risks. And I also know what's in store if we don't stop Fandaniel from carrying out his plan.
Fun?
With this power of mine, I can make a difference. If I stood idly by, I would regret it for the rest of my life.
The rest of my life, mates! I forgot he had that accent. See, you'd think so, but they don't, what's it? Because they come in a little box?
And you, Fredola? Is this what you want?
She's like, no, I hate it.
What are you asking me for? It's not like I have any say in the matter.
See, this is why she's mad!
Don't pretend. We both know Commander Eldin gave you a chance to refuse. And you didn't.
Okay, what's the other option? Sitting in my cell? Don't lie. What could possibly go wrong? I know. Annabelle's such a snitch. Like, she doesn't want to be here.
So the Empire's finished, is it?
I'd just be happy if they knocked.
That the great and glorious Garlemald slit its own throat.
I hope so.
And now, from out of its twitching carcass crawls the Telophoroi with bloody Xenos at its head.
I don't think she likes that. Babaka. Maybe in Japanese she would have.
For Garlemald. Killed for Garlemald. What was I part of?
A killing squad?
Whatever it is, I need to
know. A killing squad is what? I do like her as a character. Like, she's interesting at least.
Very well. If your hearts are set on this, I shall not stand in your way.
Did somebody just knock? My paranoia requires me to go check if somebody just knocked.
If you finished with your
I have
touching
to.
display of camaraderie, I have a question.
I'm sorry.
Which tower are you planning to investigate exactly?
I'll be right back. Yo, they did. I was right, they did. Let me see, because I think it's not actually my the purple one yet, I think, but it's at least the yellow one. It is a Final Fantasy X theme. It's the Mihen High Road y'all are thinking about. Let me have a see real quick. I'm actually surprised how many people don't know the Mihen High Road theme because it's one of my favorite ones. Doo 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 doo. Let me see which ones we got today. I'm actually kind of freaked out if they didn't like just send everything at once because like they should. I ordered them at the same time. Okay, so we got Weirdly Blue. For some reason, they gave me an extra one of this. I'm not really looking for that. This is a lens cleaner. They keep giving me, like, weird free stuff. Like, I can't be mad, but... They gave me, like, extras again for no apparent reason. I swear, like, the SweetieCon ones, just, they constantly give out freebies. Like, cause this one I didn't order, which is another blue. This is the yellow I ordered, which hopefully, will actually be yellow this time. And this one is extremely anime, it's red and yellow. But yeah, we don't have the purple yet. And what the hell? You can't really see it as well, but this says Merry Christmas. Why does it say Merry Christmas? Ugh. I want to know what's in this. I'm assuming it's just a lens box. But the fact it says Merry Christmas is freaking me out. Is that what it is? Yeah, it is. Like, they just come equipped with like 50 million different lens boxes, just in case. Because this one came with 4. I already have lens boxes, of course. I can't be mad. I cannot be mad. It's free stuff. Because delivery usually takes long. I wanted my purple ones to see if they would work for my Yennefer cosplay, but if these yellow ones work, then we can maybe finally soon play Resident Evil 8. Resident Evil 8. Because I already have everything else for that cosplay. Anyway, yes. At least I have my lenses and I didn't like get yoinked off the set. If you finished blah blah blah, etc. Yes.
Well, the one in Girabani is said to be tightly guarded. It's patrol after patrol out there, apparently. We'd be spotted before we got anywhere near it. Which is why we've set our sights on the one in Paglthan instead. There shouldn't be anything like as many Imperials to worry about down there.
I am too, well. Like, I also just really want to play the game. Like, obviously I'm also... I want to do the cosplay. But I also really want to play the game. Because I have not been able to watch... I can watch her again now, but I hadn't been able to watch Eliza for weeks because she was playing Resident Evil 8 and I hadn't yet, so I was trying to not spoil myself.
Even so,
I have a
doubt
Merry
the
Christmas
local
box
Amaja
now.
will look kindly on it if they catch you sneaking around in their territory.
Fordola and I had a chance to learn the lie of the land in our previous forays there. We might still find trouble, but at least we won't lose our way.
Yeah, we'll run right into trouble, but on purpose. It's different. Also, I'm getting a haircut on Thursday.
Well,
I'll look nice again.
Waiting any longer.
It'll literally be the anniversary of my last haircut. It's been a year.
Mayhap when all of this is over, we could take another trip to Loxeld. I would have you know I've become a rather capable swimmer since our last visit.
That's a lie.
Ha! I'll believe that when I see it. Though, To be fair, getting into deep water does seem to be a scion's lot in life.
Oh, I didn't let him take care. No, you're not taking care. See, I found a different hair place this time. Hopefully a cheaper one. I'm just trying out different ones. So I can go to one that doesn't try to cost an arm and a leg.
It means a lot, you know. You come in with me.
See, they're dating. They're absolutely dating.
I'll still owe you for saving my skin, don't I? Can't return the favour if I'm not there.
I dare say you'll get your chance before long. That Fandaniel sounds like a tricky customer. Too much for the likes of me, anyway.
Angry face. Why are we angry now?
We both know I'd just be another soldier if it weren't for my gift. And I need to be a damn sight more than that given what's coming.
Calm down. He did almost drown. He was not a very good swimmer. I think they had to give him, like, breathing. Like, didn't they use Urianger's magic to make it okay? Wow, Flamer.
Cat? I'm a kitty cat. And I dance, 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 and I dance, dance, dance.
Dexter! Welcome back, Anna. So much for the resub. Oh, welcome back. What, with the beer? I'm sorry. We can have a beer.
I realise
but not,
I can't
not
hold
today.
a candle to a hero like the Warrior of Light or Alphino, for that matter. He might look like he's 12, but he's seen more action than most people see in a lifetime.
He might look like he's 12, like that shade. It's going to watch on my phone to help with faster download. Oh, it is. I'm sorry. Sorry.
No.
This is literally the only Final Fantasy game
I'm
I've played.
nothing like them, and maybe I never will be. But I'll be damned if I don't try.
You should try Final Fantasy X. I like 10.
They're counting on me. On us. So let's give it our all.
Yes. Go on. When you're that short, shade finds. Wow! Wow! I actually like 10 too as well. I know not a lot of people did.
That much is certain. So let us have faith in him. Him and Fordola both. While they see to the towers, I would attend to another task. Chasing down this lunar Bahamut.
Uh-huh. Hold on, get a phone call.
Bloody thing. Can you hear me? It's Tataru. I'm happy to say we've managed to find Estinian.
See, the fact that this exists makes me extra furious that they kept making us return to the Waking Sands. You could have just called. Like, the Waking Sands is basically the manifestation of this could have been an email. Anyway, screw the Waking Sands.
And I'm sorry to say he went running off again the moment we told him about Bahamut.
You shouldn't tell Estinian about dragons, that's on you.
But he did mutter something about heading to Ishgard, so if you're quick, you might still be able to catch him.
It's because you're right, Lutza, you're right. Are you really mad you get to see Minfilia? Yes. She could have attached a picture. They could just call for every mission, and they really could. And they really could. Wouldn't have been so bad if they put the bloody Aetheryte closer to the Waking Sands. Exactly! Like, who needs to be in that other part of the village? Nobody. Maybe they were being inconspicuous, but still. My character's like, yo, they just gave me a call. We never had to go back to the Waking Sands. Can you believe this?
He may already have left by the time we arrive.
It's true.
Have her send the Bonanza to Ishgard. It may prove useful should we need to give chase.
We can just teleport. We have that power. Canonically, can anybody teleport, or is it just
I'll
me?
see to it as soon as Kryl and I get back to the Rising Stones.
Because I'm not sure. Estinian is the ultimate Cinderella. Absolutely! It's not like I like it or anything, but back up.
While you go off on your dragoon hunt, Urianger and I will return to headquarters. We have much to tell the others.
And we need some alone time.
I wish you every success in your search for our elusive friend. May we all meet again ere long.
Like, I just want you to know that really Urianger and Thancred just go everywhere together at this point. They don't go anywhere like alone anymore. They just, it's them. They're the team. So I'm sorry, but they're married. see them walk off. Romantic. Thancred cannot. Just Thancred. Poor man. I've preferred death by cutscene in games. Which is the only way you can die anyway, really. Like, properly die. Here be dragons! So Stinian was bound for Ishgard. Whatever it is that brings him home, we must hope it will keep him there long enough for us to find him. Come, there's no time to lose. Isn't there? I can lose a lot of time if I really try. I'm good at losing time. Especially in MMOs. They're a gay couple that isn't fully aware that they are yet, but give it time and they realize and embrace it and be cool dads. They're already cool dads. They're just like low-key cool dads. Dozens of healing spells and ways of resurrecting, all of them useless in a cutscene. Exactly. All present? Good. Let us split up and search for Estinian. He's out drinking. Probably. Since we're relatively new to this place, Gra and I will look around the open spaces, the squares and markets and whatnot. You and Chota can delve into the nooks and crannies. Oh. Very well. Let us reconvene at the airship landing later. With or without Estinian, good luck. Okay, bye! I think I shall begin at the Sky Steel Manufactory, so perhaps you could try the congregation. Lucia may well have heard news of our friend's return, and maybe I can see my best friend, who I'm also dating. Are you dating everybody, Jinzy? Absolutely. Are you kidding me? Have you met me? Wait, where's she supposed to be? Oh, that's where she's supposed to be. Hi, Costa! I got lenses in the mail. I got lenses in the mail! We're gonna test our yellow lenses tomorrow. They're a tank and healer. They're the NPC version of Costa and me. But they're dating. What's your favorite place in Final Fantasy XIV and why is it Foundation? It is not, actually. My favorite place is actually... Oh, no, not there. Is the Azim Steps. I just like it there. I don't know why, but I do. Just it's a nice place to hang out. Good morrow to you, Warrior of Light. Lord Emmerich sent word that you would be attending the meeting in Alamigo, so I gather you have not come in search of him. To what, then, do we owe the pleasure of your visit? No, I just wanted to tell you that I love him. I see. No, we were not aware Sir Estinian had returned to Ishgard, but as I expect you remember, he is wont to come and go as he pleases. Mayhap he came seeking an audience with Lord Emmerich, only to find him absent. In any event, I'm afraid I cannot help you. Perhaps one of your companions has fared better. Doubt. They never do. So you want me to go to the I will go there. Oh, cool stuff. Well, I did say something to cool stuff. The Namazu camp. I also like the Namazu camp, but I like them very much for their audio. I also like. Hold on, there was another one where I really liked the tune. I think it was the dwarf camp. My favorite cutscene of the post 5.0 patch has been coming. Oh god. Thank you, Liz.
No sign of him. Not that I've ever met him before, but the way Alphino goes on about him, I'm fairly sure I could pick him out in a crowd.
Alphino goes on about him because they're dating! Jinzy, stop! No, absolutely
Speaking
not.
of which, it does seem awfully quiet. If the erstwhile Azure Dragoon had returned to Ishgard, would it not be a source of general excitement?
Really? People are excited to see Estinian? People who aren't me? Thought everyone kind of thought he was just a grumpy old coot. It's Danny boy! It's like, I
First
hear
the
the
Scion's
sound.
Coinkeeper, and now you. I'm beginning to think these meetings are more than mere coincidence.
Shut up, you love me. We smile at
Not
each
that
other.
I'm complaining. It's been too long.
What the hell is this intimidating look?
You look an ilm taller and twice as rugged. It suits you, Alpha.
Ah! No! Oh no! Oh no!
Quieter though. been giving him lessons on how to be the strong, silent type.
Oh, Jesus! Oh god, Estinian is going to die!
Am not... Alphino!
Oh my god! Oh my god! I swear, I thought she was gonna stab
If the two
him!
of you are such firm friends, perhaps you should remember what he looks like. And what do you mean, rugged?
Well, you know.
Ugh! Had my brother mentioned what an oaf you are, I'd never have bothered looking for you in the first place.
Oh no!
Estinian Wormblood, the Azure Dragoon. He who fought and felled the dread worm Nidhogg at the Warrior of Light's side.
Oh no, I can't believe he did this.
To think the day would come when I should see this living legend with my own eyes.
And he's just fanboying over him.
Would someone mind explaining what is going on?
No, this is too good. I'm keeping my mouth shut.
I thought I heard Alize shouting. Estinian! It's been too long.
My boyfriend. Just simping it up. You're not gonna pet him on the head now? Did he miss out on his pet? That's disturbing. Pet your boyfriend, Estinian. Dang.
No, it's quite understandable. That was hardly the first time we've been confused for one another. Nor, I suspect, will it be the last.
Well...
Well, I, for one, will not be making that mistake again.
Are you sure?
What I will say, for the second time today, is that you've grown. Inside and out. I can tell.
Of course you can. You're dating. Hi, Sushan. Good afternoon.
One can't remain a spoiled little lordling forever, you know.
Yay. Yeah, it's a bit awkward.
At least someone's having a good time.
It's not her. She is not having a good time.
When we were growing up, Alphino would never befriend other boys because he couldn't stand the thought of not being in
Also,
charge.
he kept falling in love with them.
But maybe that's changed.
I mean,
he seems just as happy around Estinian as he does Arenvald.
It's because they're dating! They're dating. Why, Sushan? Buddy. Thank God he confused them there and not somewhere else. Ugh. Perhaps he sees them as the brother he never had. I think he learned how to talk with people rather than at them. Well, you can't keep him all to yourself forever. He's definitely not brothers. They're dating. Okay, I'm sorry.
Have some silent money for the lenses.
I can't say it, so we're just doing it like that. I'm sorry. Just watched episode 12 of To Your Eternity. I still haven't started that. I'm watching the ending season of Fruits Basket now, and yo, how did things get so mature and dark? Like, dang. Hi, Perry. Good afternoon to you as well. Rip.
Keep him to my... You're joking, aren't you? I'd be glad if someone would take him off my hands.
You would miss him. Isn't Alize also kind of crushing on for Warrior of Light at one point? They all are. They all... Have you seen my Warrior of Light? Everyone wants to date me. And they can. My Warrior of Light is polyamorous. There's room for everyone in my life.
No rest for the righteous, eh?
Never.
Speaking of which, I was just on my way to borrow an airship to take me to Azis La.
Azis La? How could I forget? The dragon with whom Bahamut shared the deepest of bonds.
Yes, that one. Tiamat. Right?
Aye.
Yeah.
Tiamat, his mate. Even now she remains imprisoned on Azis La, though her remorse binds her faster than any shackle.
I see. As the one who first summoned Bahamut,
Good idea,
you
Kulstan.
believe she may be able to shine some light on his latest incarnation.
Thank you all. It's okay though. Like I budgeted for these. Don't worry. These are fully in the budget. Don't you worry. We even got free cases.
Might I suggest that we make the journey to Azis La
Christmas
together?
box.
I'm not sure if Tataru mentioned this, but we Scions have an airship of our own now.
Yeah, we don't
no
need yours.
reason why not. Assuming your sister can bear the thought of sharing a deck with me.
You're gonna have to get used to them. They're getting married one day.
Be my guest. But confuse me with Alphino again and I'll throw you overboard.
He's used to that. It's fine. Is it just me or is the shoulder tattoo on the other side?
But he's nothing like Alphino painted him to be.
I got Persona 5 Strikers? Nice. I got mine on sale as well. It's on my list.
I will admit, he is not exactly as I imagined him either.
Well, you imagine everyone as a
Based on what I
hero.
had read of the man, I think I was expecting someone a little less...
Really?
Blunt?
What did you read of the guy? He's all blunt. Flavor. Let's all just be one big happy family. Actually, I didn't really flip the camera for quite some time now. But if you're wondering, canonically, it's on my left shoulder. This is my left shoulder. I'm gonna get tattoos on my right arm at some point as well, but yeah. I think you can actually tell because if you have something that you can read this. This is mirrored. It says Merry Christmas, but you obviously can't read that because it's mirrored. So, you know. It has been quite some time since last I set foot in Azizla, but I understand the three of you were here rather more recently. I don't suppose you chanced to meet with Tiamat during your visit? Absolutely not. It's fine. Alas not. We had no cause to set foot here in the Delta Quadrant, but I have studied the relevant records, which is not to say I wouldn't appreciate a first-hand account of your dealings with her. Well then, Shota's the person to ask. As far as I know, he is the only one of us to have met Tiamat face to face. Yeah, but I don't have Midgard Zamor anymore. Let's just say it helped that Midgard Zamor was there to introduce me. Exactly. He's not here anymore. Ah yes, you were a friend of her father, and he is sleeping. What is Midgard Zamor up to these days? I too have met with Tiamat. I was like, ha! Do you know how many of you I killed? A lot. I killed a lot. After the Dragon-Sung War came to a close, I came here to speak with her. A worm who had fought her own war against man in another age. I wished to know if she yet harbored thoughts of vengeance, and asked as much. She said no. A lie. He's taking a power nap of some centuries. As he's wont to do. Let's pop out the minion. It's a really cute minion. Doesn't the Midgard Zamor minion also sit on your shoulder? I think he does, doesn't he? I see that Swizzle has yet to murder Jinzi over sandwiches. They're good sandwiches, Danny. I swear. I thought he was in my inventory. He actually, doesn't he, like, grow up into a bigger version and gives you, like, he lets us mount him? Oh god, it's really one of those times of streams, isn't it? Anyway. My hatred for your kind was extinguished long ago. Well, you can have some of mine. God, I have so much to spare. But the guilt she feels for resurrecting Bahamut burns on undimmed. It torments her, even. Do you want us to kill him again? I see. Then your original reason for coming here was out of concern that Tiamat had been forced to summon Bahamut. Maybe. Nidhogg is a part of me. I feel his emotions as my own. And I know that he would not allow his sister to be made a tool of evil. In his absence, it falls to me to watch over her. Oh, he's so wholesome! What a nice lad he is. Graha had a unique dialogue in the first if you approached him with this minion? Really? With the Graha minion though, right? With the Graha Tia minion? Because I think I actually did that. Didn't I do that? I know I approached him with a minion. Yeah. Like, I approached him with this one, I think. I don't know. Is risk from a 5-hour power nap up till 7 AM because of Final Fantasy XIV? That is completely understandable. I feel you so hard on that. I had to finish my Eureka quest still yesterday, so I was late, and I got like 2 DCs in the middle of Eureka. You do not want that. I cannot argue over sandwiches as we are having sandwiches. So we are also making subs. There we go. It's just a Canadian thing. Let's just call it a Canadian tradition. It's fine. Tiamat awaits this way. Okay, let's go. He has an optional dialogue in the first with the Graha minion, and again in the source with the Exarch minion. I'm guessing you like, is that something you can like repeat in like the longest journey? It's like, I don't think I did the second one. I don't think I did the Exarch one. I just had a sandwich. See, we're all having sandwiches. You might be a little bit Canadian. Didn't want to tell you, but I think you might be. I'm not sure if it's repeatable. Oh, there's a lot of cheese in there. Yes, I like cheese. Actually, we're also having them because I don't want to. Oh, I don't want to throw away the cheese we have. My sire's mortal companion, what bringeth thee back to this forsaken place, child of man? Hanging out?
It's plain she knows naught of recent events. Perhaps you should enlighten her.
Should I have taken out the minion? Oh, okay. Rip? Maybe I can still do it? I don't know. Ride him was like the combination ride him was banned. That my sin should be repeated. Happens to the best of us. Was working on a medley I made of combining the Shadowbringers main trailer song and title screen that I want to record a music cover of. Oh, nice! Be sure to tell me when you're done with that one. I sense not the faintest stirring. Oh no. As to who could have called him forth, I know of none save the dragons of Merasidia, or children. Yo, wait, I made a video on my YouTube channel about Final Fantasy, like about the entire dragon line. What if it's one of the unintroduced dragons? Okay, don't spoil this for me, obviously, if it is. But there are several dragons in the Bahamut brood, I want to say, the Bahamut Midgard Zamor brood, that have not actually been shown in Final Fantasy XIV. I think it's 2 or so. So maybe it's one of those. There's so much potential for dragons still. The icon claimed their souls when first he manifested, and robbed of their will, they become tools of the Allagan's dark designs.
Much like those held here in Asisla. If dragons who worship Bahamut are required to summon him, that must mean...
You're holding a dragon! The dragons of Merasidia are at the mercy of this Ascian. There can be no other explanation. Yeah, Vitra and Azdaya. Those two. Anyway, yeah, I talked about that in the video. If you're interested, on my YouTube channel, look up... What's it called again? Did I just call it Midgard Zamor? Midgard Zamor and his brood? Something like that. That was the title. I talk about it at like the very end, but yeah. We were introduced to 5. Like, yeah, most of them were there, but like 11 honestly had like quite a few like side dragons as well, but those were like the big ones. Accursed Ascians, vile minions of darkness. Again you would profane the memory of my beloved, and strip our children of their freedom, their dignity. Are there no depths to which you will not stoop? I hope she's freed. Technically, Oscar? Yeah, she died, so she's technically been like introduced, but died off screen.
Your children's pain means nothing to them. They laugh at your kind suffering.
Why does he sound so angry when he says that? The chorus of Shadowbringers is probably the most misheard lyrics in it. Plenty of opportunity to think of parody lyrics. Oh no. You call that a mama apostop in Dutch.
But tears will not right this wrong, nor will lamentation see the perpetrators punished.
He's like, oh no, he has a point. What wouldst thou have from me, slayer of dragons? Yeah, you're still a slayer of dragons, buddy.
Behavior befitting a great worm.
I want you to breathe fire.
We came here to ask mighty Tiamat of the First Brood, consort of Bahamut, mother of the dragons of Merasidia, what she intends to do about the crimes committed against her children.
And we can help, maybe. Maybe at some point, Flamer. He's a shut up! Like, I'm not phased. He's not phased at all. He doesn't care. Like, okay, get your yelling out. Were I free, I would answer thine insolence with fire, but a word shall have to suffice. I thought you weren't going to do that anymore. Recall, mortals, that it was I who did first summon my beloved, praying with all my being to bring him forth. You who contend with icons cannot well be ignorant of the consequences. Okay, yeah, but you don't have to summon.
To his influence. That you are yet in possession of your own will is testament to the indomitable strength of your soul.
I feel that's Nidhogg talking instead of Estinian. They've definitely fused personalities a little bit, right? There's no way he came out of that unscathed.
But were you to meet with Bahamut again, you fear you might succumb.
Oh, don't you analyze this woman. Indeed. Ask the Dragon Slayer, and he will tell thee the power we of the First Brood wield. Were I to lose myself to the Icon's influence, all would pay the price. She is right. She has a point. But it is of little matter, for even had I the strength to resist, I yet lack the strength to break my shackles. This prison shall be my tomb. Is that going to be our quest, to free her? He's like, I can fix that.
On the matter of Bahamut's influence, at least, I believe we can be of some assistance. If you're afraid of being enthralled, don't be. We have a cure. And while we've never tried it on one such as you, its basic principles are universal.
We hope. He's like, wait, you didn't even tell me this! Speakest thou in earnest? We're just leaving Estinian out of this equation here. We have pigs, don't worry! They fly!
There is no future for those bound to the past. That you committed a terrible sin, I do not dispute. But if you feel remorse, you may yet make amends. We offer you that chance. Take it, or you will forever remain a prisoner. Not of these cruel shackles, but of your own guilt.
We fight with words. Science! And pigs. Flying pigs. A chance to make amends, to lay Bahamut's memory to rest. Well, go on. Be so funny if she then hooked up with the Reisvelger and just made another brood. When our own star faced annihilation, Hydaelyn granted us sanctuary, and now your foes would bring about her destruction. This I cannot allow. For the debt I owe to Hydaelyn, and to all who have suffered for my sins, I shall fight with you, children of man. Just make sure you bring a very big pig. Alphinaud telling someone to get over themselves. Well, he got over himself eventually, so now you can tell that. Alas, I have bigger priorities like school first and losing some weight before I start recording. But at least I got the medley in MP4 and MP3 format so far. Nice! To be fair, priorities doesn't mean you can't spend a little bit of time on your hobbies. You must relax too, you know. While pork teas have been shown to be effective in curing the temperate, Tiamat must be considered a special case. She is far, far larger and immeasurably more powerful than any subject treated thus far. Were we to remove her restraints only to find that the process had failed, we would be hard-pressed to contain her. Okay, but wouldn't it also be a lot harder to temper her in that case? Like, isn't the reverse also true? I feel like they haven't really tried it on a dragon her size yet. Then, before going ahead, we should learn as much as we can about the exact nature of her condition. Do you suppose we can find that information here? Yes, we can. We can indeed. The Alligans kept detailed records on all of their notable captives, and I know exactly where to look. You know, even if we don't get Vrtra and Azdaja in this expansion, I feel like Endwalker might do more with them in that case, given that this is like near the end of Shadowbringers. Like maybe this is the setup for the future, it being more dragon focused. I seem to remember them saying that they wanted to focus more on dragon at some point anyway, so I'm just saying. We went from curing a small goblin to Tiamat in a split second. Yeah, we'll just get it again. We'll bring a bigger Porksy. So she still has her own conscience in a way. Yeah, like, I don't know. Tiamat is such an interesting character to me. Also because like she's an interesting character, just her basic mythology. But hi, Sin. Good afternoon to you. And hello, Vargas. Welcome in, my boy. I want them more to focus on me killing Blonde Boy. We're getting there! We're getting there. So does he. It's like, yeah, go on. We shall leave that to you then. In the meantime, the rest of us can turn our thoughts to the removal of those shackles. Oh, that's gonna be fun. I know Alphino and Shota here well enough, but not you. Are you certain you're ready to see this through? Yo, have you met? Oh, wow. Rest assured, Sir Estinian, that I am both ready and willing to give my all for the sake of this star, though that is not my only reason for wanting to set Tiamat free. While I do not claim to know all of her sorrows, I too once found myself in a prison of despair, and I well understand how hard it can be to dare to dream of escape. It took the encouragement of braver souls than I am to make me take the first step towards a brighter future, and now I would help Tiamat do the same. I gather you are not as young as you look. Oh, this boy is ancient. Mayhap when our work here is done, we could trade tales over a pot of Tataru's famous tea. And be indebted to her for the leaves and hot water? I think not. I see. Ahem. Returning swiftly to the task at hand, then. He doesn't want to have tea with Tia. I believe the nodes governing Tiamat's restraints are located in the sector known as the flagship. Tia and Tiamat, Ah yes, we are familiar with it. The Ithero-Chemical Research Facility in particular. Is that going to be a hard mode for us here? Oh, you may wish to take this. A spirit vessel, containing a small amount of my blood. It's dangerous to go alone. To be fair, Vid, rightfully so. Have you met them? Like, ooh, a little bit scary. Which you just happen to be carrying around with you. Yes, he carries vials of his blood wherever he goes, just in case. Just in case. I suppose that could seem rather odd. To explain, Rambrus, Yuriange, and I are researching the use of spirit vessels in the transference not only of memories, but the traits of certain bloodlines. And so, I keep one at the ready should an opportunity to test out our theories arise. I'm just chugging blood all day, every day. As for its use to you, you may recall that during our previous visit, the nodes here granted access to restricted functions. Having identified me as being of royal blood and armed with that spirit vessel, I posit that they will do the same for you, even in the absence of, well, the rest of me. It seemed worth a try, at least. Yes, or I could just bring the rest of you. Agreed. We will take good care of it. Or one of us will, anyway. Perfect commentary voice. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I am available for voice acting at any day, anytime. Even Rowena does not mess with Tataru, and Rowena is cutthroat. To the flagship, then! To the flagship! Wait, what am I doing? Am I still doing something? What am I, chop liver? Yes, Shinzi, yes you are. Why do you still ask? You know this. I'm sniffing a dungeon very soon. And I'm sniffing maybe a hard mode for a chemical research facility, mayhaps. Especially given that we're going up towards a dungeon. Oh, there's two of them here. I think one of them was Bahamut, was it? Can you imagine how often this situation has occurred? They just bottle their blood just in case. Just in case. Well, apparently often. Every day. You're there to watch your husbandos do their thing. That's fair. You know what? I trust them. Let us split up and search the flagship for the note that controls Tiamat's restraints. But should you find a likely candidate, do not be tempted to make any adjustments. It would not do to accidentally release some manner of experimental monstrosity, nor less Tiamat herself in her current state. Our objective at this stage is simply to identify the relevant node, or nodes. Once we've learned what we can, we should reconvene and compare notes prior to proceeding. What he's saying is, don't touch the button. If you see a button, don't touch the button. It's big and red, and it says don't touch me. Which means, I want to touch it. I want to touch the button. Stop sniffing. If it's not white, it's not for the nose. Says who? Have you tried? How much has he lost by now? I don't know how he's still functioning, personally. That's a note. Data link with Delta Quadrant broken. Possible cause, intruder interference. Advice, deployment of automated combat turret units. Proceed. Ah, that's dangerous. That kills people. Hello.
Friction between metallic components detected. Temperature increasing to critical levels. Please replace damaged part or retreat to a safe distance.
Oh, there's one more, right? Are you underneath, maybe? You're gonna be under- oh, that's Justinian. Maybe it's not. I might as well ask now, what's with that getup? I'm sorry, have you played Final Fantasy XIV? Because if you haven't, did you know that it has a free trial up to level 60 with a free Heavensward expansion? There's one more somewhere, right? Yeah, there's one more. Where are you? Node? Node, my boy. Am I just looking? Oh god, I'm definitely looking past the obvious, aren't I? Oh, yes I am. Well, yes I am. Two of them are just right next to each other as well. Where are you? Usually when it's an inconspicuous one, it's right at the edges. But I'm not seeing it here. Not even the wrong Alpha no. Alpha no! Tell me where it is. What about here? Ah, yes. Hello.
Blip bloop. Warning. Scheduled dragon restraint maintenance due in minus 2020 years. Failure to verify system integrity may result in unscheduled specimen release.
Elfie node. Exactly. He wasn't even helping me. He could have seen it. From where he was standing? I feel like he could have.
I'm afraid Astinian and I have little to show for our efforts. Did you find anything?
I did actually. A chirruping note which spontaneously warned me about neglecting the dragon restraints. I have found a way to activate mechanical sentries if that's any help. Yes, technically. I also like how one of the answers is just straight up no. Justinian hides broken notes. He just gets angry with them immediately, probably. Good evening, Energizer. Welcome. Good afternoon as well. Spontaneously, you say? Well, that does sound promising. Most suspiciously so, in fact. But then you were in possession of the spirit vessel. I dare say it is indeed the note of which Graha spoke. And it was chirruping, you say? Very well. Let's take a closer look. Or not. It sounds more dangerous than you think, but okay. Go back to the chirruping note. That's why they hid this one the most. Because it was the most important one. Blip, did you wish to operate the dragon restraint mechanism? Yes, please. Blip bloop. You do not have the requisite access privileges. Operation of the dragon restraint mechanism may only be undertaken by the chief technologist and members of the royal family. Or those with a vessel full of royal blood, perhaps? Just pour some blood on the node, it's fine. This makes a lot of sense. One never knows when a small portion of royal elegant blood might come in handy, which is why Grahatia keeps his vessel about his person all day. I only barely have a sore arm today, but the side effects have been really mild. Excellent. I'm getting mine on Wednesday? I think it's Wednesday I get it. Wednesday or Thursday? I'm getting shot, either way.
New user detected. Commencing biometric authentication.
Blood.
Nope. Authentication complete. User identified as member of the royal family. Please state your name.
Clearly I'm Estinian royal blood. Just because I can. His face! This is honestly perfect. This is the perfect scene. Especially with how angry and serious my character looks, and Estinian's just like, bitch, what the fuck? They're just, I swear everybody makes that joke every Monday. That's my second shot, yes, it is. Very funny, but if that thing speaks my name, I shall see that it never speaks again. Use your own name, Shota Majima, in case you've forgotten. Now I'm angry at him.
Nope, username changed. Welcome, Shota Majima. You may operate the dragon restraint mechanisms when ready.
I just wanted to be Estinian for a day, man. That's all.
Bloop bloop. Error. Unable to disengage restraints of the specimen Tiamat. A system update is required. a system update? What do you suppose it is asking of us? We are basically, the three of us are in a very open relationship together. I could hazard a guess. Because it's gonna be a dungeon, right? Come on, it's gonna be a dungeon. Well, that's more than I can say. Confounded bloody thing. Darling, please. User agitation detected. Initiating guidance program. Bloop. In order to operate the restraint mechanism, I require access to the central control system. However, I am unable to establish a link to said system due to the obsolescence of my own software. Bloody. This issue can be resolved by applying a system update using the corresponding terminal located within this flagship, which is definitely a dungeon, by the way. So can this thing release the restraints or not? It can, but only once it has received the requisite system update, as far as I can tell. Until which time it'll float there, spewing nonsense. Yes, Estinian. Oh no! User dissatisfaction detected. Initiating placation protocols. Bloop. I am here to help. Rest assured that I will be on hand to guide you through every step of the system update process. How gratifying. But I dare say we will fare better with guidance than without it. Putting the dos in husbandos. Hell yeah. I like how unamused Estinian is with everything. Hi, Kel. Hello, the little pork champ. The restrainment node stands poised to lend a hand, figuratively speaking. Nope, guiding user to terminal. This way, please. This is where the dungeon is. Well, we're getting ever closer to that dungeon, so... I mean... Are we going to be in front of the dungeon again, as usual? Or is it just on top? I feel like facility terminal should be what we're looking for, right? Is it not? Is it going to be on the other side? Is there another dungeon? Estinian has huge old man yells at Cloud's energy. Oh yeah, every single day, actually. Where the heck? Oh, you're on this side. You have too many entrances. Can I just say that? Are you upstairs? Are you? No, you're down. Oh, it's one more. Okay. I took the wrong exit. If that isn't a dungeon, like, come on. Estinian can actually attack clouds. Damn you, weather! Let's see. According to the terminal, the central control system is presently employing software version 56.135. Dare I ask which version you are employing? I'm sure plenty, Flamer. Like, Expert Dungeon doesn't even show up on my list. Why, software version 42.002, of course. Bloop, bloop. Warning. Errors detected in the data management system. Estimated time required for update, 5 years and 1 day. That seems a bit much. That is rather longer than we were hoping. Aren't there any other options? For instance, using this terminal to operate Tiamat's restraints instead? Look, the proposed method is indeed an option. Please be warned, however, that the procedure may have changed as a result of the system update, and my instructions may no longer be accurate. Well, I can't imagine it will have changed all that much. I don't know why I had like a break there for some reason. As long as we pay due attention to any discrepancies, I dare say we shall be able to muddle our way through. Don't bother trying to explain, just tell me if we've made any progress. Did we? Well, if you, like, Expert Dungeons lock again once a new patch is out and new dungeons are introduced, because then there's new Expert Dungeons, basically. Rip. I would say so, yes. It does, however, require that I remain here to operate the terminal. I shall inform you via Linkworld once I'm ready to release the shackles. It might be best if you left this spirit vessel with me. I may yet have use for it. Rest assured, I will be certain to return it to Grahatia once this is over. Don't worry, he has plenty of blood. We'll just take some new stuff. It's fine. Just a little more work and Tiamat will be free. But before we go any further, there is something I would know. When Tiamat and her kin fought against the Allegan Empire, both sides were but dancing to the tunes of the Asians. And it was the same in Ishgard, where they stoked the fires of conflict between man and dragon from the shadows. Way to do that. All that the Asians touch turns to ash, and thus have you made it your mission to fight them. But there have been times when you try to reach out to them instead, to find common ground. And so I must ask, what do you intend to do with Fandaniel? Will you try and reach out to him too? I don't know about that one.
I've only played The Witcher 3? Well, I've played it a lot and I'm wanting to play 1 and 2. Do you reckon it's worth it? It depends entirely. So, The Witcher 3 is vastly different from 2 and 1. Like, every single Witcher iteration, they learned something new. Witcher 1, I love the atmosphere. In fact, it is my favorite in terms of atmosphere. And the story is interesting, although weird for the canon. But the combat system is awful. You have to know that, basically. That's the main thing that will turn people off. The combat system is absolutely dreadful. There's a lot of running through swamps. But if you can deal with that, then I can absolutely recommend The Witcher 1. You can collect cards, so what more do you want, really? If you're not interested, if, like, you try it and you think to yourself, that's terrible, I don't want to play anymore, I do have a Witcher 1 lore through on YouTube as well. The Witcher 2 is my favorite Witcher. Yes. Even over Witcher 3. Not just because of Yorveth, but because I think the story's better. I really like the story in The Witcher 2. And it still has its gripes. The combat is still not perfect. There are definitely some annoyances when it comes to, for example, climbing small hills. I don't know why they went with the version of controls that they went with. But it's a step up at least. Obviously it looks better, but yeah. The story, I love it. If you've read the books for The Witcher, it's even better because it is very, if you know, you know, in terms of story. But you can also play it and then think, wow, I wonder what that's about. Then read the books and then replay it and think, oh, I know what that's about now. Especially the Triss arc, because it has a lot to do with the Lodge. So yeah, I think they're both worth playing. That's obviously as a Witcher fan. But again, I also have Witcher 2 lore for everything. Witcher 1 feels more like a classic RPG than an action RPG. Yeah. So the way that the combat works in The Witcher 1 is it's basically a rhythm game. You click and then you wait, and then you click and then you wait, and then you click and then you wait. And if you click too fast, then you lose your combo, and you know. It's not great, but boy, some of the characters are hilarious. Like, again, I will never not bring up Beastie Beta and the Waterlords and I, because they're hilarious. So you're definitely missing out on that if you're not playing through it. But yeah, you just have to get past the combat, basically. Witcher 1 feels more... Oh, I just read that, Jinsey. Witcher 3 is the most mechanically updated, but the easiest. I don't think, if you play it on very hard mode, Witcher 3 can still be a challenge. I do think Witcher 1 and 2 are harder. Yes, on the hardest modes, for sure. Especially because I believe... Yeah, I played it on the hardest mode in Witcher 2, but I still don't like the one-shot, one-kill mode. That's not... I think it's called Dark Mode. I'm not a fan of that. The thing with The Witcher 3 is that they changed the story rather late into the game. And again, we've talked about this before, but yeah, The Witcher 3 used to be more focused on the Wild Hunt and less so on Ciri, and then eventually they threw it all away and they said, no, we're going to focus more on Ciri and less on the Wild Hunt, which makes it weird that they still called the game the Wild Hunt, but whatever. Which is also why I very much prefer the stories of the expansions. Especially the story of Blood and Wine, although I very much prefer the villain in Hearts of Stone. There's a huge difference between the hardest difficulty in The Witcher 2 and The Witcher 3. Yes. Yes, The Witcher 2 can be very infuriating. Rhythm games, Drakengard is good on that too. Never in the entire game using it, but making a fuck hard one for the final boss. God, I hated doing that boss. Oh my lord, Lutz. I don't know what they were thinking. Like, I'm pretty sure when I did play it, I looked up a walkthrough because I wasn't getting it. Like, I was like, I was so sure I was missing something. But no, it was just a rhythm game. Ah. I also heard that Triss is a terrible person, and other than the whole Drug and Geralt thing, what else did she do? Well, you know, outside of the R word on Geralt, she also at some point, when she was with the Lodge at that point, Yennefer magically called her, and was like, hey, I'm about to do something very dangerous, I might die, can you make sure that Geralt is like, okay? I would really like it if Geralt survived and lived another day. but because Philippa was also there, and she was like, no, I think it's better if Geralt dies. Triss was like, yeah, I think it's better if Geralt dies. Just like completely agree to it. It's like, yes, actually, Geralt should die. It is better for us. And then Yennefer was also like, can you, like, I want to protect Ciri. I just really love protecting Ciri. And then Philippa was like, yes, but we would like to force her to have a baby with some dude she's never met, because that's better for us. And Triss was like, yes, actually. Even though this is literally what the bad guy Vilgefortz wants to do, forcibly impregnate Ciri and then rip it out of her body, you know, we're going to do that too, but we're just not going to rip it out of her body. We're going to make her carry the child to term, and then she can work for us. And Triss was like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Let's do that. And like at the end, she eventually goes like, maybe I did stupid things. And it's like, yeah. I don't know, man. I feel a bit more dumb about picking her as my favorite in Witcher 3. Well, and the weirdest thing is, at the end of the books, she sort of starts her road to redemption, right? Because at the end of the books, and this is definitely Witcher book spoilers, but at the end of the books, Ciri, Yennefer, and Triss go to Rivia to meet with Geralt. And Triss is obviously still hung up on Geralt, even though Geralt has made it very clear multiple times that he does not want to be with Triss. She's still hung up on him. Yennefer's like, don't touch my man. They start fighting a bit. And then they see that Rivia's on fire. So Ciri bolts off because she knows Geralt's there and she's worried. Yennefer and Triss also follow, but they lose sight of Ciri and eventually find themselves stuck in the pogrom that is going on in Rivia, which is why the fire started in the first place. And because they're surrounded and because they're sorcerers, they're kind of getting pogromed themselves. So they're under attack by a whole lot of angry villagers. And Yennefer refuses to retreat because she wants to save Ciri and she wants to save Geralt. So she says, well, Triss goes, hey, we should teleport out of here to safety. Yennefer goes, no, I wish to save my family now. But she gets knocked out. And then when she comes to, she's bleeding, she's scared at that point. And at that point, she thinks, there's nothing we can do. We should use the last of our strength to teleport out of here. And at that point, Triss says, no, we're staying. And Yennefer and Triss together chant Alzur's Thunder, which fails because Triss has a split lip, which means that they kind of start mumbling the words, and that's how Marigold's Hailstorm is created, which is another spell. And, you know, it basically just rampages across the village and stops the pogrom. But at that point, you know, everyone's very tired, and Geralt is already dead. So Yennefer and Triss rush over there, and Yennefer, distraught, tries to use all of her power to bring Geralt back, to try to save him anyway. And she literally sacrifices herself because she falls to the floor in exhaustion. She is out. She tried everything. She's out of energy. She's basically dying herself. And Triss just stands there and is just like, well, dumb bitch, that was never going to happen. You can't, you know, that wasn't going to work. Which, you know, she had a point. But at that point, I think she kind of came to terms with the fact that Geralt and Yennefer are together. You know, they have a bond that she can't really comprehend. And she sort of has this glimmer of, okay, I will find my own way. And then The Witcher 1 starts. And then The Witcher 1 starts and they reset it for some reason. They reset the whole thing. Like in Witcher 1, she is once again the worst. And I don't know why they did that. She lies to Geralt about his oh god, for his memory loss. I forget the word for that, amnesia. And then when Geralt's like, can you tell me what kind of person I was? She lies again. She's like, oh no, I don't want you to turn into the person that I would want you to be. Which is just her saying, oh well, I would probably lie to you again. She then uses him to get what they want for the lodge. And then in The Witcher 2, again, she continues lying. He specifically asks her to tell him about Ciri and Yennefer. Like the past, he literally says, tell me everything. And she doesn't. She just straight up doesn't. And so, rightfully, if you take Triss's path, by the end of The Witcher 2, Geralt is rightfully angry because at that point, his amnesia has been cured and he remembers everything. So he's pissed with her. And she's just like, whoopsie. Oh, well, you know. Things happen, am I right? So yeah, I don't... Which, at the end of The Witcher 3, I'm glad that they did kind of bring that back. Because, like, all the way by the end of The Witcher 3, Triss is her own person. Like, at last she's her own person. But it took so long, and it didn't have to. It really didn't have to. I think I might need to watch those lore throughs. I honestly don't talk too much about this in the lore throughs, because I don't want to, like, derail the whole thing just with me ranting about Triss. But yeah, I honestly don't know if I can ever forgive Seder Projekt for making Triss a love interest for Geralt in the first place, when Book Geralt had made it so clear that he did not want to be with her, and also, yes, the fact that he got R-worded by her is just a problem. The fact that she was okay with him dying is a problem. The fact that she was okay with Ciri getting forcibly impregnated is a problem. Like, all of these are problems, and they're never addressed. Which makes me a little bit annoyed. I definitely found Witcher 2 to be harder, early on in particular. The Necker Cave sucks, yes. Just watch the new Witcher trailer and they butchered the second season. There's a medallion tree, Vargas. I love Triss, but I'm in a meeting at work right now, so I'm just seeing Jinzi doing a lot of hand moving and explaining, and I feel like I'm missing out on some lore. Yes, you are, Ark. Yes, you are. Jinzi's telling me everything, but it's appreciated because I've never played them. You're welcome. I'm gonna make a video about the Yennefer versus Triss debate at some point, because this has been requested by a $42 Patreon a while ago. They didn't give me a deadline. They were like, make it whenever you want to make it, but like, this is what I'd like to see. And it's gonna be kind of a piece of work. Like, I'm gonna have to reread the whole book series again, obviously, find all the bits and pieces, replay all the games, find all the bits and pieces. Yeah. How's Geralt even resurrected anyway? Because I know he gets killed by a random peasant, but don't know how he comes back. Okay, so there's various different ways to explain the ending of the Witcher books. One of them is that they just die. Yennefer and Geralt are dead. They go to the Isle of Avalach, which is like the Isle of Avalon from the Arthurian legend, and it's just where they are dead. They are basically in heaven, right? But the other explanation, which is what I prefer as my canon, is that basically through the power of the unicorn, both Geralt and Yennefer are saved. So what happens in the desert at some point is like, times of contempt or baptism of fire. I think it's the start of baptism of fire. But do not pin me down on that. Ciri is in the desert. She's dying. She is, you know, drying out, has no food, etc. She meets a unicorn called Ihuaraquax, which people have asked me this, why do you pronounce it as Ihuaraquax and not Ihuaraqua? Because it's a unicorn. I wanted to give them their own thing, okay? Anyway, so they kind of go through the desert together. Ihuaraquax finds her water, they survive together, and eventually they fight a monster that wounds Ihuaraquax, which is also poisonous. So he's poisoned, he's gonna die. And they sit near the edge of the desert, and Ciri is basically desperate to save Ihuaraquax. But she can't, because she has no magic. There is nowhere to draw magic from. There are no veins, and then she's like, oh, you stupid idiots, there's fire! I can make fire! Even though Yennefer had already warned her not to ever use fire veins because it's, you know, it's gonna ruin you. So Ciri makes a fire, she draws her magical energy from the fire, is consumed, because fire veins give you extreme power, but also consume you, like, personally, mentally. She uses that power, sees herself as like a god, and she uses it to heal Ihuaraquax, just saves his life, and he runs off because he's scared of her at this point. And at that point, she fights back against the fire, the voice of the fire, and she relinquishes her magic. She can no longer cast magic, ever again. And the unicorns come back, and they're like, wow, should we kill this person because they have been consumed by the fire? And they say, no, I think they just gave up their power so they can no longer hurt anybody else. And then they leave. They basically leave her to die at that point. And Ihuaraquax was only a fowl at that point, so they wouldn't have any say in it. But later on, when Ihuaraquax grows up and meets Ciri again,
obviously, he starts traveling with her to teach her the power of the Elder Blood, which is something she requested. The voice of the fire was Falca, yes. It was Falca. At least it had the manifestation of it. So they travel together, and they kind of bond over that as well. And then eventually, by the end of the books, Iguaraquax appears again, finds Ciri again. And Ciri's like, I knew you would find me. And she has no more magic, but he does. So I think she touches his horn, and the power flows through her, and she manages to use it to cast what I believe is akin to a resurrection spell, or at the very least one that brings them back from the brink of death. So Iguanaquax, in essence, saves them at that point, because she couldn't use magic to do that anymore, but he could. And that's how they are resurrected, right? Jinxie's like, I actually have an entire lore series I made on my YouTube. I do, though. I do. But I don't think I talk about this. I don't talk about these things much because they are just like question answering things. Which these are hard to put in a video. Which is like why I like doing the Witcher facts on TikTok, because I basically say things that I wouldn't necessarily put in a video because it's difficult to talk around. But they are interesting, so I want to tell somebody, you know. She's a failed white mage. She's unfortunately a failed mage in general. Yeah. There's lay on hands. Technically, yes. You're welcome, man. You're welcome. I do not mind you derailing the stream for Witcher questions. I love talking about The Witcher. Ciri losing her power was bullshit. She was warned not to tap into the fire. She was warned. And it doesn't really matter, considering she is of the Elder Blood, and that is not something they can steal away because it's in her blood. So, you know. Anyway. I will try, and if that fails, I'll remember him. You know what? I'm gonna say that because I like Emmett Self. Huh. Yes, mute away, Colsta. Go on. I see little point in reasoning with the wretch, or remembering him for that matter. I will remember them all. I made a promise. Or perhaps that's the difference between you and me. You see the good in people, even if it be but the faintest glimmer. I only hope you do not come to rue your benevolence. I never have the time to, don't worry. You think us unwise for viewing the world thus? Maybe a little. Far from it. That has ever been your way, as I learned when we journeyed together with Iceheart. Yet the fact remains that there are some who view compassion as a weakness to be exploited, while Keanu Reeves would have a word with them. And there may come a time when you extend the hand of friendship only to wish that you had dealt the killing blow. So, save your mercy for those who deserve it. Well, we should be getting back to our task. If Alphino has things in hand here, I suggest we rejoin the others. No dungeon! Imagine how much more powerful she could be. Oh. Because that one, she doesn't mind the Witcher spoilers. She doesn't mind those. But she minds Final Fantasy spoilers. So... I don't know anything about Witcher, so it was very interesting. You could talk my ear off for hours about this. Well, in that case, I have a YouTube. Sorry. Yeah, there's. I think I might give like the quick rundown on TikTok at some point about the Triss Yennefer thing, because there are so many people who comment on my TikTok where it's like, Triss best girl. I love Triss anyway, and it's like, do you want to fight me? Do you wish to start a fight with me? And you have to catch up on my main story quest. You should! Do it, Colsta! So hello there, Yabi. Good afternoon. Welcome in. You only need to focus on main story quest for 2 weeks and skip cuts. Flamer, don't you dare. Don't you dare. When you said they got resurrected from the power of the unicorn, for a second I thought you meant the stuffed unicorn. No. No, fun fact, unicorns used to just live in the Witcher world. They don't anymore, obviously, but they used to just live there, which means that Yennefer at some point got one of them stuffed. Triss lovers get the stab out, yes. Estinian told me all is well, but nothing more. Honestly, it's like getting blood out of a stone with him. I take it from Alphino's absence that he's needed elsewhere. Yes. But he'll be back. He loves us, after all. Well, that'll... Oh, the dragon song.
The dragon song always makes me cry. I'm sorry, but it does. Well, that all sounds rather frustrating. She got there in the end. While you were off talking to nodes, Graha and I were learning as much as we could about Tiamat's condition. Our readings confirm that her ethereal balance leans strongly towards the umbral, as was the case with the kobolds. Therefore, all other things being equal, the treatment should work. The difficulty lies in the sheer quantity of ether with which we must contend. Multiple applications of the treatment will inevitably be required if we are to reverse the effects of the tempering completely. Meaning I'll need all the ether I can get. Thank you in advance. Because I'll be taking yours. Dragon Song is a sad song, but then you play Heaven's Ward and it's just insanely sad. Like, all the memories. Every so often, like, especially when I was making the video on Midgard Zamor and, like, the whole Brood thing, I had to, like, record a few parts, like... I'm sorry, I cried. I cried again. What can I say? Hi, Nakubel! Good afternoon. Dragon Song is actually my favorite Final Fantasy song. See, it's not my favorite because I can't jam to it. I really like the new Titan song. I'm sorry, Eden Titan. But this one is just one. If I would like to have a cry, I will cry to this song very easily. If there's like even a remotely sad cutscene and this song plays, like, okay, bye, gonna go drown myself in sorrow. Although this endeavor will ask much of us, we do have one reason to be optimistic, namely that Tiamat shows no sign of fanatical devotion, suggesting a milder case of tempering than that suffered by the kobolds. I mean, so I guess she is still tempered by Bahamut. I didn't really even get that vibe from her. They are, guys. They are. Tiamat saw Bahamut as an equal rather than a god. Might that have made a difference? Now that you mention it, it very well might. She would not have believed it necessary to defer to his will. But enough talk. It's time to put our theories to the proof. Tell Alphano to disengage the restraints, ethereal dampers. Oh dear lord. Don't make me fight her. I like her. I'm counting on you, Angelo. Angelo's like, oh god, not this again. Ah, such warmth. The frost that shroudeth my soul doth begin to thaw. But what are these? Visions of days long forgotten? Of war with the men of Alak? Wherefore do such baleful memories return to me now? Could it be that the process of restoring her soul to its pre-tempered state is awakening ancient memories? Or might the opposite be true? If so, by helping her to recall the past, we may be able to speed her recovery. Ashota, she trusts you. Speak to her. Ask her to tell you of times past. Tell me of Bahamut. Ah, Bahamut, my beloved. Would that the peace we found in Metacidia could have lasted for eternity. But alas, it was not meant to be. The Ascians saw to that. In all creation, I know of none more wicked. It was at their behest that the men of Alak first came into Metacidia, unto our home. I always tear up when I listen to The Way It Is, which plays during the final mission you play as Arthur. I cried at that one too. I cry very easily, if I'm perfectly honest. Hi, Budlinger. Good afternoon, my friend. The tale began when Bahamut and I left our father's side. We took wing in search of a place to make our eyrie. Beyond the southern ocean, we discovered a lush and fertile land. It would come to be known as Metacidia by the children of men, though many years were to pass before they crossed the seas. No. Upon our arrival, we were welcomed by the peaceful people of the forest, kin to the trees, surrounded by nature's bounty. Bahamut and I had found a place to raise our young. Are we going to Metacidia in Endwalker? No, actually, don't tell me. Don't tell me. I'll watch the trailers like after I'm done with everything. Fascinating. This correlates with the writings of the Sharlayan scholar Rurusha. She posits that man first settled on the southern continent towards the end of the Second Astral Era. Correctly, it would appear. If only she were with us to hear the tale from Tiamat herself. Again, Angelo! Again! The feels? Yeah, I guess that 3 we're doing after Ender release. Hi, Mo! Hello, hello.
When first the children of man arrived on our shores, no foot did they set in those places over which we held dominion. Such was their fear of dragonkind. And as they kept their distance, so did we let them be. Yet as days went by, ship after ship appeared upon the horizon, bearing even more of their brethren, who divided the vast land amongst themselves. For a time, they knew peace and prosperity. But as their numbers grew, the smaller their share came to seem, and soon they began to covet the territory of their fellows. Ere long, man fought man, blood was answered with blood, and none could see an end to the strife, until one day it came to us. Recognizing our wisdom, they entreated us to intercede in their conflict. Bahamut agreed, and with him presiding over the affairs of men, the land knew peace once more. Alas, those golden days of harmony too were fated to end, for the men of Alak slew my beloved, and I, in my rage and sorrow, heeded the envenomed words of the Asians. The rest thou knowest only too well. Oh, she got tired of that one. But your tale doesn't have to end there. When you are free, we'll rid the world of the Asians together, and you and your beloved will have justice. And I need to have a seat. Fine sentiment, but you're almost spent. I'll keep watching from above. If the treatment fails, run. And I will jump on her head, as I am wont to do. Thanks for the vote of confidence. I swear, when this is over... See, they're becoming fast friends. Keep going, Alize. The magic is working. You might want to give her some of your ether. Poor uber-powerful men watch a woman almost die channeling off a spell, and we're just like, well, you know, it's fine. Well, I knew this wasn't going to be easy. No patient could have prepared me for treating a great worm. We're close, I can feel it. And while I've only got a few more drops of ether left to give, with yours and Ra's, this will work. Then I believe I speak for both of us when I say that you may take as much as you require. And that's probably all of it. I swear Jinsey has one of those voices you feel like you've heard before narrating in a video game. If only. I'm gonna be in a fan game, in like a very small, tiny role, but I'm still very excited about it. I just have to figure out how to hear reverb, and I don't. I have no idea how to do. How do I hear reverb? I don't know. Careful, I might hold you to that. Alright, here I go. Hold him to that, why not? You're tired. This is the It's Time for Action music. I like that one too. Again, I can't get over the fact that this is literally when pigs fly. I'm sorry. Fantastic.
No. I'm almost there.
I believe in you, Alize. Oh? I don't know why you're surprised that we're giving you our ether. I really don't, because like we've been over this. This is literally what we said we would do. I'm glad I caught some of her TikToks because I found this stream and it's been A so far. Well, thank you very much. Angelo's the new warrior of light.
This
To
is
be
it,
fair,
Angelo.
they strike a better figure than I do, so. Angelo doesn't even speak. Angelo just works. Alright, go on. Yes, I feel it! The icon's grip groweth weak. I want to see her in, like, full form, because I bet she looks ace. Oh, now I'm saying ace.
Did it work?
I want mana transfer back as a skill. You know what? Mana transfer was useful at certain points. Giving healers mana, to be fair, most healers don't really have mana issues anymore at this point, but still. It made me feel useful. A superior ninja pig.
We won't know for certain until the shackles are removed.
You could just ask her. Hey, did it work? She's like, yeah, you should definitely take my shackles off now. I'm actually weirdly excited to try, like,
one of these lenses. Especially this one. This one's gonna be so anime. Holy crap. Answer me this, children of men. Can my kindred be saved in like manner? Oh yeah.
Many have been subjected to the Allegan's dark arts. Their flesh irrevocably altered. For such tortured souls, I fear there can be no salvation.
Oh, my children. Should you hearken unto my call, we shall fly together once more. But should you not, I shall grant you peace. Better to die than live as a tool of evil. You too would wish this, I know, and I shall do as I must.
When that time comes, you won't be alone. We'll stand by you.
Thou hast my gratitude, little one. Fire the lasers.
Alphino's ready. It's time.
Battling Shiva soon for the first time. I love that storyline though. You're gonna love it too. I know you can't hear me, but you're gonna.
Do it. And let's hope the treatment worked as it should.
I know that's super basic, but I love dragons. Let's wow. She's like, oh, I'm gonna stab you in the head. My beloved. For vengeance and atonement I rise. She looks neat.
Urianger, your timing could not be better. Understood, we're on our way.
Things have gone haywire. Come
it's
back.
Bahamut. He's been sighted over Pagalthan.
Okay, yeah, that's close enough.
He flies for the largest Amalja settlement in the region, at the head of a vast host, including dragons.
Did you hear all that, Alphino? You'd best rejoin your comrades. I'll make my own way.
As you always do.
Our enemy awaits. Shall we?
Are you? Did he just fly off? I was gonna say. You missed your target by a bit otherwise. Mo's new badges are so cute. They look amazing, honestly. He yeeted himself past her. He was like, catch me. Well, I'm sure you're desperate to join Astinian and Tiamat in battle. 'Twould be wiser to gather the full strength of the Scions first. The foe we face demand no less. They can demand all they like, I'm busy. With Lunar Bahamut bound for Pagathan, and Grahathia is determined to call upon the aid of your fellow Scions. It's literally just me, Flamer, like... me and Y'shtola. I've already sent words to the others. We are to rendezvous in Ul'dah at the Hall of Flames. Let us collect Alphino and be on our way. Just like put him in the bag. Put Alphino in the bag. Well, to be fair, I guess Perry, she wouldn't really know where to go. Oh, it's very empty there now. You know, I was always hoping that at some point she was gonna get freed. I didn't know it was gonna be so soon after me wishing that she was. But I like it. I like it a lot. Oh, they teleport us straight up. Nice. Oh, that's convenient and very welcome. I love it here.
Now, I know some of you could do with a rest, but I'm sorry to say that Telephoroi have other plans. Paglothan is already under siege. That was fast. My carbuncle is so shocked. Happily, the immortal flames arrived just in time to join the defensive effort, with Marshal Tarupin at their head. Well now, given the failure of the peace negotiations, I was uncertain how the Sultanate would respond. It's good to hear that Ul'dah has not abandoned the Amalja. Abandoned them? Did we not profess to be their friends? I don't know. What did you... You tell me. Your Grace. Hello. Marshal Tarupin has made provisions for such an exigency? Exigence? Listen, I'm not English. Don't come for me. And was ready to depart at a moment's notice. All that was required was the agreement of the syndicate, each of whom voted in favor of the intervention. Look at that. Wow, Septic. She's adorbsable, okay? Nor is Ul'dah alone in its resolve. The other alliance nations have likewise dispatched their troops to Paglothan. Oh, nice! We're focusing all of our attention on a single place. I'm sure that leaves no one undefended for an entire host of dragons that can fly off in an instant. Yet even with our combined strength, we shall be sorely tested, for we face not only the might of an Imperial Legion, but Lunar Bahamut and his draconic horde besides. Well, we have Tiamat. Yes, adorbsable. Septic. They're not ears, they're horns. Tiamat's children. Fight as we may, victory is by no means assured, but not all the omens are grim. Our forces report that despite their proximity to Lunar Bahamut, none of the Amalja show any signs of tempering. Strange. What primal would turn down a chance to claim new thralls? Well, it's not primal then, is it? She's like, I would. Unless it is incapable of doing so. Primals are not wont to serve a master, Ascian or otherwise. It may well be that Lunar Bahamut differs in some fundamental manner from those we have previously encountered. You pretty much, Veliko. Yeah, it's like, it's us. If that were true, anyone could fight him, and Shota and others like him wouldn't have to shoulder the burden alone. Okay, but you're gonna make me do that anyway. Be that as it may, Lunar Bahamut remains an incalculably powerful foe, whom our soldiers will struggle to best through mere force of arms. With the aid of the Scions, however, I believe they will fare rather better, assuming, that is, you are ready to take the field. An airship awaits to bear you to the front. Pray set forth as soon as you're able. Is that going to be a dungeon? Is this a dungeon? Are you going to give me a dungeon now? I kind of want one. I want at least one dungeon per stream. I'm sorry. The other one often want to sit. Yes. No, actually, it's my little chocobo. It's Alpha. So nice to see Nanoma do stuff for herself and that she doesn't have Roban at her side. Like, I love that she just, like, she changed the entire governmental system of Ul'dah. Just like, actually, I'm done with this. I, meanwhile, shall continue to coordinate our forces. Until next we meet, may the 12 bless and keep you. And may the Fury guide our path, etc. and so forth. It was kind of her to speak with us personally. You may be certain she has no shortage of other responsibilities. I bet. Well, I, for one, am inclined to do as her grace requests. Lest we forget, Arlenwald and Fordola are in Paglothan on reconnaissance. The sooner we save the day, the better their chances. Indeed, to the airship then. To the Batmobile. Are they teleporting us again? Right, Kulsa? Somebody tell her I said right, Kulsa. They're not teleporting me. That's unfortunate. Let's see. Actually, is that faster? Yes, it is. Is it? Yes. Thank you, Flamer. Oh no, it's down here, isn't it? Well, Ul'dah is okay, but I still prefer Gridania. Wait, do I have to talk to the guy for this? Is that the point? Or did you bamboozle me? It's actually on the right, isn't it? Got maps? We don't do that. Fine. Walk again. She only needed to have Lodorito on her side to achieve it. Yeah, and he was such a little Whoa. That boy. I just wanna. Is all I'm saying. Was it here? It must be. I can't afford that flavor. Thank you. I can live with that. Understandable. Have a nice day. See, this is one of the people that I'm cosplaying, except I'm cosplaying the female version. The people who are here from TikTok and not from Final Fantasy. Do you see the similarities? Always, like, female and male Aura have different horns, but, you know. Hello, give me an air check, please. Greetings, we've been expecting you. But say the word and we shall depart for Puggletown at once. Yes, please, take me out of the chat that is Ulda chat. I am absolutely begging you. Okay, well, we're doing this as a healer, aren't we? We always do. It's just easier that way. I'm sorry. Puggletown. Let's go to Puggletown. Instant cues. I love instant cues. I love them so much. Don't read Ulda chat. Please. The only thing in common from Aura male and female is that they have like 2 lack of... Rude. That is a jam? Why is Square going so hard with their music this expansion? Who gave them the right? Who gave them the right to go this hard with their music? I love it. I love it. Ah, shoot. I didn't think they were already targeted. My mistake! Come here and get dotted, my boy. They just let Soken do his magic. It's like, Soken, give me magic. And then he was like, okay. And then it was the best. It was the best. But this guy is just not having it. Just have the skill to show off. I mean, Soken. Yeah, make all the music, actually. Just make all of it. You know, everyone else stop making, just Soken, no one else. Also, how's the sound? Do you want me to turn down the effects a little bit, sound-wise? So you can hear the music more? You know what? Actually, I'm gonna do that either way. I just like it. Are we pulling more? Oh, we are. Okay, cool. Come on, you can get it. You can get a dot. Shut up. Oh no, he's doing his. Hold on. I don't want to like interrupt his shield. You know what I mean? Just making sure we don't get hit by that. I need to use my lilies, my boy. There, I managed to use one. Worth it! I don't know why I have aggro of that tempered Imperial. But I hope he'll stop soon. There you go, that's better. Final Fantasy on TikTok is huge, just saying. If I made Final Fantasy XIV TikToks, I would just make skits. I would make terrible, terrible skits. Which I'm not saying I won't, because like I already have the outfit. But you know what? Mo, the outfit I sent you, I'll wait until I have that, and then I'll make all my extremely funny skits. No, I love you too, Mo. I don't know what this one does, but he looks kind of cool. Look at this boy. Are you a dragon?
I'm gonna say that you are. He's probably gonna... Oh, dang, okay. I'll stand here, I guess. Oh. Oh, is it just me? Interesting, okay. I don't know why, but, like, okay. Is he gonna do one in the front? Oh, no, it's everywhere. Oh, okay. Awkward. I have a debuff. Oh, lightning. Oh, that's unfortunate. Because that's all he seems to do. I feel like I need to be closer to this. Okay. Oh, they're just gonna keep doing that. Oh, Jesus, okay. Okay, okay, I'm gonna go here. Is that okay? Does somebody have to stand here with me? I don't know what's going on right now. Do I? Does somebody? Is that what we're doing? Oh god, if I die, I die. I'm not here for this. Why is it just me every time? I don't want to use my lilies for that one. I'm sorry. I want to use that on an AoE. Yeah, that's what I thought, Vid. That's what I thought, like the whole model. Especially because of the, like, the whiskers, I want to say. I think it's a nice dragon cat. It's nice. Oh god, now we all have one. Okay, I'm gonna stand here, I guess. Will I just die at this point? Because I think I'll just die at this point. I don't know how... I don't know what to do with this. But I'm gonna die. What are you supposed to do with that? Yes, tell me. What are you supposed to do with that? I actually have no idea. Should I have stood on one of the lightning balls? You need to go to the lamppost. Oh! Oh! They're lightning rods! Right, okay. Okay, fair, thank you. No, I was just like, what is happening?
The Amalts are in trouble. Let's split up.
To be fair, that's probably one of the mechanics that I would have told somebody about. Like, there are certain things where I'm like, no, I think that's obvious enough. This one was clearly not obvious to me. Maybe I'm just not very smart. That's fair too. I can see that. Here you go. That's better. Just fed the dragons. If they're my friends, they won't try to kill me. Right? That's how we do that, right? Oh, they're already dead. Never mind. These are big uns. And I guess I'm also not very, like, well geared, obviously. I'm not well geared anymore. Like, this one drops 505, actually. I'm not geared. I could get loot from here. This is a place where I could get actual useful loot.
Oh no, you can't.
It's good to know. Happy walking, Mo! The gear is quite cool as well. I would like to see one of the vests. One of the vests? I would like to see one of the chest pieces. Oh, that's Tiamat. Was that Tiamat? Oh my god, that was Tiamat. My poor child, I shall free you from the pain by murdering you. Yes, Tiamat, yes! Oh my god. I interrupted his shield now, I feel bad. I don't think we have any... No, we don't have any... I should definitely keep an eye out for all of the chests in that case. It has the fluffy part. I just redid all my glamour. Oh, there's another chest. Is it something? Oh, nope. No healing gear anywhere. Rip. 5,000 gears of sabbatical and she still has it. She's been saving it up. She has been charging her laser for years. Okay, hold on. See, why I always take a moment between holies is because the stun actually lasts too long. Oh, Jesus. Oh, okay. I see. The stun lasts too long, which means if you immediately stun afterwards, it overlaps, so you lose a bit of the stun. And that's just not great, you know? Oh jeez. Well, that makes it worse. Now what? Are we gonna fight this? Oh no, we're gonna jump this. I knew that. I feel like that's a pop-pom kind of thing moment. Ah. Okay, definitely is. Is this? Yeah, it is. That's also, yeah, that's worth. Is that what? Yeah, that's worth. Oh, oh god. Oh, oh. So many things to look at. So little time. Okay, where are we supposed to? I guess we're just supposed to stand here either way. Do I have my palm back? No, but I have this one back. Okay, we're at 50%. I feel like that's gonna be fine. We'll use my flower here. Don't you dare! Okay. I feel like I did well there. I feel like I'm helping. No chess pieces yet, though. I don't even want to win it, I just want to know what it looks like. Are there more? Yo, actually that looks really dope. I like that. You just used this shield right the moment I did that. I feel like that's unfortunate. Like, that's the only thing. I always try to make sure I don't stun over a Dark Knight's shield. When he uses it erratically, I'm like, oh no. Ooh, a trash coffer. Does that mean we're jumping down? Oh, it is. Oh, we have to take a dragon. Okay. Nobody tells me anything these days. Oh god. Oh! An upgrade! This looks so good though. I really like this. Like, look at this. So that's dope. I'm sorry. Okay, I can't use it yet. I didn't materia meld. Don't touch me! Okay, I'm gonna wait for you. There you go. Okay. Wow. Okay, never mind. Dang. There, now we just stun a bunch. Wait, did I just heal myself? Oh, yes I did. Oh, you better believe it. How do you think Tiamat feels seeing the summoner calling the demi-bomb? Just casually. It's like, well, I like the Phoenix better, but I guess I'll have that one too. I'm assuming I'll get a chest piece at the end, right? Oh, I'm sorry, Kendrick. This is spoilers for you! This is spoilers! Be careful. I don't want to ruin it for you. Big dragon. Oh, are y'all gonna fight? Oh, y'all are fighting. Yeah, you should jump on his head. Yeah, jump on his... What are you jumping on? Oh, yeah. Chest?
Jump on his chest? Oh, and then he falls down and then we're gonna fight him? Like the weakened state or something? I don't know. Oh no! He's using Mega Flare! Ooh! Are they both down? Ooh, they're both down! Oh, now we're fighting him. Okay. Oh, oh god. Oh, where did he go? Oh, that's where you went. Like, where are you? Okay. Well, let's see how this goes then. I mapped the realm, you lads! Good for me. Can't spoil this game. I watch every video and read all the story anyway. Oh, okay. That's fair enough. In that case, enjoy eventually. Okay, what do those do? What do they do? Oh, they're the ones that make the circles happen. Alright. I feel like they're showing me this mechanic right now so that when it becomes more difficult, I'll know what to do. Jinsey, your dot dropped. Oh, well, I never said I was good. Dang. Oh, that's extremely Nidhogg of you. That's exceptionally Nidhogg of you. Okay, what does this do? What is it? Is it supposed to do something? Is it gonna do something? I'm not sure. Should I be moving it far away? Does it matter? Not really. I don't think it does. I'm standing where you are. Ah, and then we have to leave? Yeah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Thank you for asking. Oh, that's like a tiny amount. I'm assuming it doesn't actually go... Yeah, it doesn't. Oh, okay. So that's how that works. Just me out loud walking myself through this dungeon. I'm sorry. I have to. Oh god, what do we do with this? Oh lord, what are we doing? Oh god, I'm gonna go wherever you are. Oh, okay, that's how that works. Okay. That, no, that messed with my mind. I'm sorry. Giga Flare, eh? I just assumed we were gonna take some damage there. Technically, I don't think I even needed to do an AoE heal there. Because, yeah, these people are actually standing in my zone. I'm so used to people just not standing in my zone, just leaving immediately. Aw, small boy. I'm sorry. Well, unless. Alright, alright, alright. Oh, there's a jacket here. We can look at the jacket. Magitech Predator F1. Is that another pet? That's gonna be a pet, isn't it? Damage was they might have been like in here together? I don't know. Let's see. It looks okay. It looks alright. Oh, I got the pet! I got pet! Is that good? Is that good? I don't know. This might be the first time I've seen you playing Final Fantasy XIV, not SWTOR. Yeah, we finished the SWTOR questline 2 weeks ago? And there's actually like one patch that we missed there, but we're gonna add that on to when the expansion comes out. I do play SWTOR, yes. I do. Children of men, the shade of my beloved is no more, and I shall be forever in your debt. Is that all we see from her? By your deeds are we set free, and free we shall remain. As long as I draw breath, never again shall the dragons of Meracidia hearken to the lies of the Ascians. This I vow. I'm wearing like a very Ascian face piece right now. I'm sorry.
I don't mean to provoke her here.
Noble warriors, the dragons chose their friends well.
Who's grumbling at me? Oh, it's an Amalja! I'm also best friends with their beast, right? I hope they know that.
Long have our peoples waged war, but no more. Your fallen lie beside our own. By our words and deeds shall we honor their sacrifice.
We would be proud to call you our allies. Actually, they are very useful allies. So.
The enemy of our enemy is our friend. And you have proven
You know, Letho talked like that and we don't trust him.
Worthy of our trust. It is
We
the
don't.
Guardians who are deserving of our
We'll
fury.
kill them together! Oh, that's bonding. I was literally just playing it before while listening to you talk about The Witcher. Ah! I got Legend status. Oh god, oh, that's a few weeks back. We were really behind on, like, expansions and things like that. What's your favorite class? For me, it's gonna always be Imperial. Imperial Agent. Although Inquisitor is really fun with lightning. What can I say?
I shall see that my brethren learn the truth of this day, and rally as many as possible to the cause, till we meet again.
Bye! And he's kind of an afterthought, I feel. Welcome back, Mo.
And thus did we make allies of the Amalja.
So the only ones we're missing now is Gridania, so I think that's where we're going next.
It would certainly seem that way. The Sultana will be pleased.
Oh!
Let's go and give her the good news, shall we?
Well, we'll give her some news. Because this place is still an ash. And it looks so nice. It does look very nice. The visuals and the music here, I love it. Sometime earlier, inside the Puggleflan Tower. Oh, and everything went wrong inside the Puggleflan Tower. We did great. They did not. Oh no, I was right. I hate it. Oh, they're inside of the structure. Like fused into it? Ew, and it's breathing. I'm pretty sure it's breathing. Ugh. Oh, when she moves her feet, it's like.
What in Ralga's name happened here?
Oh, do you really want to know?
The gods only know. But you can bet these poor sods aren't here by choice.
I didn't Flamer. I'm saving it. I'm saving the near rates for Mo. I don't know. Do you guys want me to like first do the near rates and then continue the main story quest? No, I want to do the main story quest first. Shut up, Jinsey. I want to do the main story quest. My favorite would be Sith Warrior, since he's the one I have the most fun on, but put the most time on, and the one I brought into DLCs. Yeah, I brought my Bounty Hunter into DLCs, and I kind of wish I'd put like my Inquisitor there or something, but yeah. Rip. I'm sad that they don't include the leaders of the Beast Tribe quests. Yeah, especially because it's so weird, because like your character is really good friends, like honored friends with like all of the Beast Tribes, and they just kind of nope out of there? I don't know.
Quickly! We've got to get them free!
How are you gonna do that? Let me touch the muscles. Oh dear. Oh, he's not happy to be here.
Get back!
No. What have I done?
Did you
It's too
kill
late
him?
for them. We're leaving now.
Oh my god! What are you doing? Oh, that's never a good sign. Shouldn't have a lot of MSQ left after this. How many hours would you say? I just bonked my horn. Oh jeez, that's an Ifrit. Oh, so they're like mini summons?
No! Don't you dare! We came together and we're leaving together.
Okay, well, not if you die, dudes. Yeah, honestly, Reb, that's the one thing. I wish I had gone in with, like, a Force user in general. Well, it would be too much to hope that we have seen the last of Fandaniel. He have dealt his schemes to a telling blow this day, and that alone is cause to celebrate. Well, I feel like there's at least one more dungeon, right? For expert, there's usually 2. And celebrate I will, when we have received word of Ironvald's safe return. Oh well, about that. That's my crit. Poppy's second husband dying? Question mark? Like... Oh no, I can do expert now. Really? That's enough for- There's only 1 dungeon? No. Is there? That seems awkward. Alphino is minded to share his account of the events that unfolded in Paluthan with the Sultana. No more dungeons? Wow, that's actually kind of surprising. Is that one in the Porksy one? That one's also... Oh. Wait, but I swear that one didn't give me 505. Or did I just not look? Standing around here worrying. It's not going to help matters. Come, we must discuss the day's events with Pippin and her grace. Brave Science! Yes? Oh dear. Would that I could treat you to a hero's welcome, but I bear urgent news from the frontistery? Frontistery? Your Grace, whatever is the matter? As our troops withdrew from Pakulthan, they came upon the 2 scouts sent to the nearby tower. I've yet to hear a full account, but it seems that one of them, your friend, I believe, had been wounded and was being dragged away by the other. Fordola's dragging, I'm assuming? I just wish there was a way to increase bag space. Same. I'm using my chocobo bags right now to put all like my my relic crafting stuff in, but it's never gonna be enough. He's like, oh god, my husband. Oh god, my husband. Oh no. I must go. Forgive me, your grace. Yeah, no, we understand. You got this. Can you tell us aught of Arenvald's condition, your grace? The wounded scout? Naught save that it is grave. The chirurgeons... I never know how to pronounce that, I'm sorry. Chirurgeons? Chirurgeons? The doctors tend to him even as we speak. Just call them doctors, dang. I can't. The infirmary must be inundated with the wounded. If all of us go, we'll only get underfoot. Shota and Stinian, would you mind going after Alphino? He may need some support from someone other than me. Yeah, he needs his other 2 husbands. Chair Johns. Magic doctors, yes. Very well. Thank you. The rest of us will see that the relevant people know what took place in Pakulthan. We're gonna just start a newspaper about it, probably. I don't know. Yeah, but the retainers are also full. Actually, you know what's on my retainers? A lot of my old house stuff. I don't have a house anymore, so... Come on then, alright. I like how, like, the guy from the airship landing is just like, what are they still doing here? It's so confusing. Can we teleport somewhere quickly? No, not really. Oh god, no, I'm not. Sorry, my bad. I was trying to do speed. Okay. So... Oh, that was accidental, but yeah, but welcome. We'll go to the Alchemist's Guild, I guess. Which is also where the doctors play? That seems unsanitary, but okay. Yeah, that's what we just talked about. The Chocobo saddle's what we talked about, but like, look. Don't look at my inventory, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm gonna fill all of this with materia for that for the relic quest. Like, this is all relic quest stuff that I've just been collecting. So I don't have to, like, do that every time I get a new weapon. Did you get this chocobo from the gift subs? No. You know, I'm not gonna get it. I don't really like the black chocobo event. I think they implemented it very poorly, unfortunately. And I already have. I have the fat chocobo, I have a parade chocobo, and I have
the original Fat Chocobo, apparently. So I don't need another one, like, let's be honest. Another one come to seek the lad in silver armor. Master Damlio is attending to him as we speak, if you would be so kind as to wait. What did Master Damlio say? Tell me his exact words. Let the doctors do their work. But, oh, you're right, forgive me. When we set our farewells to Arenveld, I was afraid that something like this might happen, but now that it has, all we can do is wait. He's so worried about his husband. I know! I'm all out of water, all I have left is ice cubes. You can see very cold ice cubes.
Fordola, have you been waiting here all this time?
No, I live here. Yes. I'm just staring at him like...
We have done what we can. The rest is up to him.
May we see him?
No. Oh no, it's actually a no.
I do not think that wise. You must let him sleep.
Oh, rip Energizer. Which is why I will go in there anyway. I know, Mo, but not in the stream time, right? Something got auto-banned? I didn't even see anything.
Thank you for bringing him back. He owes you his life.
Actually.
I just wish I had been there. Perhaps, I don't know. Perhaps I could have...
Aw, mean.
What?
We're done with Soitora, no?
Don't flatter yourself. You can't save everyone. No one can. Not even the warrior of bloody light.
Actually, no, yes, I can.
People die all the time, for no good reason. And those who take up the sword die quicker than most.
Well, she's not subtle, is she?
If you're going to shed a tear every time a soldier falls on the battlefield, you'd best stay away. It's no place for the weak of heart.
Well, no, but this is his husband, you don't understand.
It may be that victory cannot be won without cost. But all life is precious, and I refuse to shrug at its loss.
Yeah, you tell her, Alphino.
All life is precious! Oh, you need to grow up, little man. Before your sparkling ideals get everyone killed.
Does he not have a point? She's just mad because he once again saved her life. Because that's why she's mad, let's be honest.
You're right. He is idealistic. But the world has more than its fair share of realists, like you and me.
He's like, we suck, but we'll suck for everyone.
It's people like him who dare to dream that things could be better and make it happen against all the odds. They are the ones whose names live on forever. The heroes.
The battlefield's littered with would-be heroes.
No, she's still...
At this rate, you'll lot be next.
Well, stop being
and
mad
what
about
of
it.
Your precious dreams then?
Like, if she's really so resigned to the idea of people dying, why are you still mad? Shouldn't you be apathetic at that point? Like, what's... Dang, I think she's lying.
They'll be gone. Like dust on the wind.
Or tears in the rain. You knew I was going to say that, I'm sorry. I don't know why she's mad. Listen, Phil, you gotta ask her. Every person tells Alphino that people die since Heaven's War. Yeah, I know! He's just like, stop! I know people die, dang! So that much, she just doesn't, she's gonna be baka until she has her arc complete, and then she's like, oh.
Don't die so easily.
Actually, I love you all. I still like her character. She needs the growth. It's gonna, maybe she gets her arc here. Maybe that's her thing. Like, she's had
a very unfun life, let's be honest. Now he's sad. She's making everyone sad. Come on, give your buddy a hug. I know. There's nothing more I can do here. Come, let us rejoin the others. What about Estinian? He's just lurking. Estinian's just lurking. Ahem! Her Grace invites the Scions of the Seventh Dawn to join her in the Fragrant Chamber. Your comrades have already arrived. Will the three of you be joining them? I don't know. Maybe we will. Estinian's like, I won't. I am lurking. Exactly, Litsa. He's like, oh shoot, I have to wake up. We share a knowing look. Husband to husband. No. No. We are such a wholesome team. Did we get a chair too? Is this like a different room again?
Your Grace, pray forgive us our lateness.
But I see you haven't set out any chairs for us, so maybe you weren't really expecting us anyway.
Think not of that. I understand a close comrade of yours was wounded in the line of duty. Arenvold. It was at the Alliance's behest that he risked all, and we are grieved to hear of his condition. Rest assured, he will receive the finest care our chirurgeons can provide.
Chirurgeons?
You have my word.
Gotcha. I will forget that.
We will share with you the findings of the mission.
It really sucked.
Pippin, pray relate to our guests the details of Fordola's account.
Final Fantasy speak. You said Invention is your favorite class? It's the final one I have to complete. Nice. Enjoy that. I think they have the best story.
Now Ifrit.
Cheers.
Or Luna Ifrit, as Fandaniel would doubtless have it.
Yeah, because he's a bit pretentious.
'Tis now all but certain that the towers were conceived to facilitate the summoning of primals by those imprisoned within.
Honestly, just benediction, Flamer. Like, let's be done with it.
Less certain is the means by which the Telophoroi constrain the wills of said entities to enact their designs in defiance of the pleas of their victims.
Right.
Mayhap they do not. If mere proximity to the towers is enough to make loyal servants of the Empire's mortal enemies, it stands to reason that the same is true for those held captive. They invoke their gods for the good of Garlemald, and in their disturbed state of mind, summon a primal whose form reflects their own alteration.
Yeah, weird.
It all begins to make sense. Upon closer inspection, I realized that the towers bear a striking resemblance to a much larger structure which Urianger and I observed from afar during our visits to the Imperial capital.
It is indeed, Kindrake. It is indeed. I think there's actually like stages. Like if you have a level 60, I think you might already have more XP at the lower levels, but do not put me down on that one. Also, if you pre-order Walker, which I haven't yet, I know, terrible. You get another XP earring. Am I wrong? Am I right? I think anything lower than your highest job. Yeah, that's what I thought. I wasn't sure if there was like in between points, but yeah. Everyone in this meeting has white hair, as they should. Yeah, it's an earring. I swear it's always an earring, because every time you pre-order, I have like 3 earrings, 3 or 2 earrings. They look nice. You should keep them. The new earring stays upgraded up until level 80. Really? That's kind of nice. The other ones were only for like the meat, didn't they? I like it. I should pre-order that
Assuming
soon.
it too is capable of tempering those in its immediate vicinity, it would go some way to explain the swiftness with which the Telophoroi managed to rally so many Imperials to their cause.
They still actually hate them.
While the situation in Garlemald is indeed troubling, I fear we have more immediate concerns.
I want the horse from Endwalker Deluxe. You can buy them later. That's something I also very much like about Final Fantasy, is that you don't have to buy the deluxe now, you can buy it later, if you really want to.
Ifrit was not the only primal summoned. At approximately the same time, observers at several other towers bore witness to the emergence of further such entities.
Do you want me to go and kill them all? My carbuncle's like...
For a blessing, none appear to wield aught approaching the destructive power of Bahamut, and the Grand Companies are moving to deal with the threat even as we speak.
Like, I feel like my carbuncle is just like a permanent surprise Pikachu face on my shoulder. Look at him. Look at this boy. He's like... You need only tell me where they are. Yes. I can go and just, you know... Oh, literally!
Though we are aware that the task will not be easy, we would call upon the Scions only as a last resort. Pray, conserve your strength for now.
He's alive.
After all, it was not so very long ago that you rid us of Bahamut.
Well, that's a while ago, to be honest.
To report that our talks with the Amalja have reached an agreeable conclusion.
Oh, that Bahamut.
They
Yeah,
have
okay,
pledged
yeah.
their full support to our cause.
Never mind.
It is our hope that this historic agreement will encourage other tribes to join us at the negotiating table. And I know that I speak for all of the Allied leaders when I say that we will welcome them with open arms at such time as they do.
So awesome. I just enjoy killing thousands when you alone can do the work, and we'll do it anyway. They're just like murder.
Of course.
Understandable.
This was only made possible by the feats of heroism performed at Paglfan.
By me.
Moreover, we shall not allow the sacrifices of those fallen in battle to have been made in vain. As hope leads to victory, shall victory lead to a new dawn for Eorzea.
Okay, if you say so.
May these words ever be our guide, Your Grace.
Now, if you will forgive me, I must consult with the Syndicate on the matter of our new allies' integration. Till next we meet, my friends, I bid you safe travels and blessed respite.
Have a nice nap is what she's saying, except she's saying it in like a nice posh way. I will have a nice nap, thank you. I'm gonna do just that. We have these stripes to do that? Yeah, pretty much. I've already done the work. Just let me go talk to them. Yes, have a nice nap, Mo. A nice nap. Right then, unless anyone has any objections, I think it's about time we return to the Rising Stones. Is it though? Oh no, we're all sad. Shit, I forgot about that. And that includes you, Alphino. Ironvald is in good hands here. Well, he's sleeping. Can you really say that? Of course. Who would doubtless mock me for pacing about the infirmary? Let us retire then. We might regain our strength and in readiness for the coming challenges. If all are in agreement, then I shall let Kryl know to expect us. A hot bath and a hearty meal shouldn't be beyond arranging with the timetable available, but she is going to also make you pay for it. Tataru, can you get dinner ready? It will be good to be home. I have some thinking to do. Oh, she's like, have I been a bad sister? He bites his claws and a haircut. He looks nice. Yes, I'll try and ask him. And thank you. I shall look forward to it. Our comrades eagerly await our return, and Kryl in particular has a few matters she is keen to discuss, one of which concerns you, Justinian, believe it or not. You will join us, won't you? Fine. Oh god! Justinian! Really? I thought you said you were avoiding that Baldician woman. Oh, buddy. He's like, oh, you love me anyway. If I refused, she would only pursue me. He has a point. Let's get this over with, shall we? He does not want to be there, but he does. But he does. He does want to be there. But he doesn't. Small amount of water. I thought it was the end boss of Final Fantasy XIV. And that is a fact.
My voice is starting to hurt at this point, unfortunately. What are you? Hold on. Oh my god, you're the Paladin quest. I never did you? I never did you? Wow. I'll do that off stream. Right, I'm gonna call it a day here before I lose my voice entirely. Tomorrow I'm gonna, okay. Do you want to see the, I don't know what this is. This almost looks like it doesn't have a color. Should I try the blue lenses tomorrow? Because we are doing a wholesome stream. Maybe I should try the blue lenses. We'll see. Anyway, tomorrow we're wearing lenses again. Because I can. And also Rebs is playing Bloodborne. And I'm going to send you over to Rebs because I love her. If you're not following Rebs yet, please go and follow her. I love her so much. She's wholesome. She is sweet. She makes me smile every day. So, go say hello to her. Tomorrow we're playing Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker again, and then the rest of this week is Ender Lilies, depending on how long that is, and then we're following it up with Yakuza 3 with Final Fantasy XIV again on Monday, as always. Having a very lovely rest of your day, everybody. Morning, evening, afternoon, whatever it is you're having. I hope it is amazing. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, bye.